And we're back.
We're back.
Yay!
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
it's like nothing
Hooray.
happened. And we didn't talk
Because
about
nothing did happen.
any weird conspiracies at all. Probably.
Yeah, don't kill us, Hollywood.
we got onto the fucking ad conspiracy and the Streamlabs just said, no, no more. You've said too much.
You
We
found the
know what
pattern.
you want.
Remember when we said the Da Vinci Code, or like what was it, National Treasure, but you shine the light through the hat, the holes on Abraham Lincoln's hat.
Oh my. What? I
Um,
don't
What?
remember this.
we were
What are you
saying I'm gonna
talking
steal the
about?
Articles of Confederation. But to find out where the secret treasure was, you had to shine the holes through Abraham Lincoln's hat holes from the bullet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, cool.
So yeah, what are we talking about today? Who are we
That's a
I
here?
don't
good,
know.
that's a good fucking question now.
Cold
What if...
Fire. Cold Fire, your own.
No, we can't just keep talking about cold fire.
I mean, we could, but we shouldn't.
easily could.
Yeah, I mean, we easily could, yes. But that would get boring over time.
Okay, fine. Cold Fire will have to wait for a later date.
We already talked about
Frostfire.
cold fire.
Frostfire, renowned villain in City of Heroes.
I don't want him. Is that
Do
the
you think
cocaine
cold...
guy? No, that's Snowfire.
He's yeah, no, Snowfire is Cocaine Man. Frostfire is the leader of the Outcasts who his mission has a bunch of ice slides. You just get to slide around like a fucking idiot. It's great.
Oh.
And that running turns into a hero.
He turned.
Spoilers.
Oh, well, thanks for all the City of Heroes spoilers.
You want
Yeah,
all
that
City of
didn't
Heroes
that I'm
spoilers.
greatly
All those
invested
people
in the
stuck in
story of.
1996 are going to be so upset.
Wow, excuse you. It's not that old. I played when I was a kid.
So like the 1800s?
Yeah, you're like 30 or whatever.
Yeah. Am I still 30? I might be.
You're not. Wait, no, you're
You're like 29 right
29,
now.
right?
Well, no, I'm at least 30. I just don't know if I'm.
Wait,
You're at least. What's happening anymore?
I don't know.
So, Cash, what are we talking about today?
What can we talk about? You know I'm not that good at talking. You gonna put me on the spot?
Yeah, that's exactly why I put you on the spot.
Bitch, motherfucker. Goddamn.
Yeah, I think.
Good wrestlers that you sent over.
Ooh, well, Ava, we know your answer.
What?
Good wrestlers that you sent over.
I mean, there's a lot of those.
Rhea Ripley,
Shut up.
Bailey.
I'm. I don't remember who Bailey is.
I love a good Oscar. I love some Oscar.
Asuka's great.
Asuka's amazing.
I think her gimmick's gonna change soon.
Oh yeah, what makes you say that?
She's been
Stop
posting
being
on-
Japanese.
I don't think.
No, she's been posting a lot on Twitter on like a lot of old things with her more of her Kana gimmick from back when she
Oh,
was
yeah?
in I believe it was New Japan.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
So she's gonna be more Japanese.
She's gonna be even more Japanese than before.
Okay.
You might not have
I
thought it
love
was
that.
possible, but
I know one of mine is Nikki Cross. Has a little Irish accent.
oh yeah, Nikki Cross is great.
Yeah, she's actually. I don't know if you've been seeing Cash, but she's actually been returning more to her like Nikki Cross
I
She's
stuff.
know,
going back to her
and I
Sandy
love it.
era.
I love Crazy Cross. That's my favorite cross. Her being crazy was just me saying yes. That's what we needed in our life. Well, male version, male superstars for me is
Who?
Why would I do that?
Finn Balor.
Finn Balor's pretty cool. Ava, you love Johnny Gargano though. Not
That's
something
different.
wise, but you just like him. He's just great.
He's just kind of he's a goofy little guy.
He's a real stand-up fella.
He's just a funny little guy.
He's a dad.
Yeah.
He's
I mean, his
suburban dad
literally
standing on the
call him
porch
Johnny.
watching a storm.
They literally call him Johnny Wrestling. How can you not like him?
It's what he that that'd be like. Oh yes, my name is Thomas Superhero. My name is James Firefighter.
Yeah, look, it's in his name. Yeah, I mean, there's some, like, I'm not gonna simp over any man in
Ever.
end of sentence. I don't know why, but saying end of sentence is my favorite way of ending a sentence.
I hate it
My
here.
favorite professional wrestler is Gustave d'Avignon, the Bone Wrecker.
Does he wreck a lot of bones?
He did in the 1800s.
Wait, hello?
Excuse me?
Okay, well, let's look into that.
Yeah,
Well,
let's,
no,
Is this a
we
real
need
person?
Yeah.
ancient wrestling, obviously, is the next
What was
topic
his
we need to go
name?
into. The Bone Wrecker, apparently.
Bone
Gustave d'Avignon, the Bone Wrecker.
Gustave de.
So it's Gustave with an E at the end.
Okay.
Then D apostrophe
Oh, okay.
Avignon.
Okay.
The Bone Wrecker.
Oh. I'm sorry. Hello? Okay.
What have you found, Madhouse? Please tell us.
Okay. Yep. That is him. Pro wrestling's heroes. Pro wrestling's history has been tied to the use of gimmicks from its infancy. From its circus origins in the 1830s, showmen presented wrestlers under such names as Edward the Steel Eater, Gustave d'Avignon the Bone Wrecker, or Bonnet the Ox of the Low Alps, and challenged the public to knock them down for 500 francs.
I mean, I bet you can do that, Madhouse.
How much is 500 francs today?
Like, I don't know, a
$2.
dime.
I mean, that's a good question. I mean, Franks don't exist now.
What would your 1800s wrestling name be? What would your wrestling gimmick be?
Well, how is an 1800s gimmick different from a modern gimmick other than less material to choose from?
Yeah, they're more original.
Yeah, they can't say things like the iPad Crusher back in the 1800s, obviously.
I'd be the iPad crusher, but I crush a pad of eyes.
So sort of a Cthulhian horror sort of thing.
That's the name, the Cthulhian horror.
I don't think they had I don't think they had Cthulhu in the 1800s. That was more a 1920s thing.
Let's see.
Or 10s. Or
What do they
I
have in
don't
the
fucking know when
1800s?
Lovecraft was a bitch.
Man, I don't think you and I could have had one back then.
Oh, yeah, we're not allowed to even be outside of the field back then.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
you
But
could.
that
Your
would be in
gimmicks,
America, damn bitch.
yeah, your gimmicks would be very limited.
If it-
You could
Oh,
still,
I mean,
yeah,
if
it would be like the Savage Ape Man or something like that.
yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Probably,
I mean,
you
if
could probably
it's
get Bone Wrecker.
if it's Franks, then it wouldn't be in America, would it?
France had slaves, didn't they? Who else had slaves other than America? A lot of people had slaves.
People.
What countries participated in the transatlantic slaves trade? Look at that.
Oh, apparently the first professional world champion wrestler was Paul Pon the Colossus.
Ooh, that's a lot of that's a good deal of countries
Really?
there.
Yeah.
The major Atlantic slave trading nations in order of trade volume were Portugal, Britain, Spain, France, the Netherlands, and Denmark.
Okay, but when did slavery end in those places?
Where to begin?
Or America.
In America, it didn't.
Well, yeah, I fucking know that.
Denmark abolished slavery and I'm gonna kill myself.
When did they end slavery?
1848.
Damn, Portugal was at the top of that list, but they abolished slavery in 1761
You
before
fucking
America
kidding
was
me?
even a country.
I think America's thing is like from the slave trade era, they were one of the last people to abolish it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Sounds about white.
And like even after the slave trade because like the slave trade ended a while before slavery itself
Well, there was some in the
actually
pipe,
ended, I'm pretty
so-
sure. Because it's like they didn't get any new slaves, so they just made do with what they had.
Yeah.
Happened.
Because there was still some in the pipe, they had to be flown through. Britain apparently abolished in 1833, 32 years ahead of the US. Still
Yeah, that sounds about right.
ahead of you on that one.
I mean, the United States, we love slaves here. Well, no, we don't love slaves. We love having slaves here. How did we get here? Oh yeah, wrestling. So
Yeah, wrestling, because you and Cash and all that, you're concerned about your possible difficulties in wrestling in the 1800s.
Yeah.
I just said me and Matt wouldn't be able to get one, and then that just came up.
Yeah, I would be the
The Dark Destroyer.
God, it's so racist that it sounds true.
I would be the Algerian Annihilator, but I would hail from like the Congo, and because they wouldn't care. I would say which country has alliteration in it.
The Congo Conquistador.
Someone's ancestors are gonna kill you now. The malicious Somalian. Oh, here's a challenge. How many African countries can you name?
Oh, okay. I can definitely.
Oh, well, yeah, I know Dan can
Yeah.
do it.
Unfair.
Dan, you don't get to
Not
participate.
fair. Aw.
I can't, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. I lose. I can't name any.
I'm sure you can name at least one.
Yes.
Come
At
on, Josh,
least.
you can do it.
Come on.
Name a country in Africa. Go.
Is Egypt in
Yeah.
Africa?
Yes, it is in
There you
Africa.
go.
Oh, okay. I don't wanna-
Egypt in Africa.
Just think the only reason I know that.
Who knows?
The only reason I know that was for the book I'm writing. That's the only reason, because it's one of my characters from there.
Hey, you want to know another one about South Africa?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's in
yeah,
there.
that's one.
That's the one I figured you would guess.
You figured too much. You put a lot of faith in them.
That's a
Yeah,
lot of
y'all
figuring.
too much fake.
Have you ever heard of the country of Madagascar?
I haven't thought about that since the movies.
Okay, no one
Yeah,
else
fuck
has
everyone
either.
in Madagascar, I guess.
So here's what we're gonna do. We're each gonna name an African country, until Dan tells us that doesn't go in that country.
Okay.
Man,
I can do
y'all
that for
already
you.
said everyone I know, so I'm good.
Bye.
Chad.
Yes.
Molly.
Yes.
That's a drug as well.
Not that one, you idiot.
Look, man, when we said Chad, I thought it was a buff white guy, I'll be honest with you.
My God.
Is Mumbai in Africa? Is that might...
Mumbai is a city in Africa.
Wait, for some reason I thought Mumbai was in India.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah, that's
oh
what I
my
was
God,
thinking.
we're the
It was-
dumbest motherfuckers in the world.
Oh, so I was right and
Yeah,
y'all
I was-
were wrong.
That's
Yeah,
true,
I think the
man.
reason I was thinking that is I was looking up Mumbai recently, so it's stuck in my head.
Why?
You're like, it belongs somewhere in the world.
Well, because I was considering going there for a little bit
I'm gonna visit Mumbai.
When?
And
in January.
Why? What?
Well,
Oh,
because
okay.
one of my friends has a friend who is getting married there, and they offered to go with me.
Oh, that's nice.
We decided against it because it's one, very expensive, and two, in in January, it's still hitting the 90s.
And you die by that point.
I would die, yes.
You die in
And
7
then-
degrees.
And you can't drink the water there.
Oh. Well,
So,
but no,
Okay.
Mumbai is not in Africa, camper. You lose.
it's fine. Look,
Yeah, I know, Morocco.
Yes.
Somalia.
Yes.
All right, Cash. Now it's your turn.
I already said the one I know.
Cash, you can name
Say
at
another
least- Come on, you got this.
Does it count if I say one that y'all said when y'all tried
No,
to explain to me?
stop writing off
No.
us.
No.
You can't cheat off of us in this test.
Man, that's how I got to high school.
I've got one.
That's a lot of people checked off me, surprisingly. That's so stupid. Look, after high school, I got dumber.
Well, I suppose cash forfeits then.
Yeah, I got dumber after high school. I can't say anything else.
Not
I
a
don't know.
single African nation.
That, like, yeah, Africa, the motherland, but I don't go fuck. I'm not from there.
Yeah, we're so far removed from it by this point.
I am American. I don't know why they call me African American. I'm not from Africa.
I think it's when I was in college, they often, because I went to a college of 1,500 people, and 8 of us were black, and there were about like 12 African students, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the black students over there," and all of us were like, "What the fuck? We don't know each other." It was just
Look,
like,
unless his name is Tyrone.
it was like a huge difference between like African students and black students, because it's just, I don't know how to explain it.
The only student I've ever known from Africa that went to school with me was a white South African.
That sounds right.
One of the Boers.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Everyone thought he was Australian.
That makes sense. That also makes sense.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I can't believe no one has mentioned Wakanda yet, obviously.
Shut the fuck up. All right, well,
Wakanda
we're moving
forever.
on.
Glad we could say that in unison.
We're gonna move on before Camper mispronounces Niger.
Ooh.
What? Is that your,
Wait,
is that
do
your
you mean-
nation, man?
No, Camper, don't say it.
No. Shut your fucking white ass mouth.
I'm so white I can only pronounce it one way.
Do you think we're gonna be taken off of Twitch for this before we even get back
We
to
were.
this?
I thought we weren't on Twitch.
Are we on? Who are we? Yeah, we're on Twitch.
I know
Our
you're
stream
the
went
one
down 3 minutes in.
No, we're back. On.
Madhouse, you're the. Oh, we're streaming right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
are we? Okay.
yeah. I said that if you guys listened to me, you would know this.
I never
no,
did.
I thought we
Okay,
were just
yeah.
doing the recording.
No, I picked. We got it back up. Now we're here.
Well, hello, Twitch. Don't cancel us.
I mean,
No,
you cancel me,
Cancel
it
camper.
won't do anything.
Cancel camper. Yeah, it won't. Like,
if we
You're allowed
must
to
die
cancel.
for Camper's justice, then let it be.
Jesus died for your sins, and so that I could say things.
Anyway, where were we again? I believe you
Um,
just said Niger.
Yeah, Niger,
okay.
Nigeria.
Well,
Algeria.
save some for everyone else, man.
No, I want them all, just like the British did.
Yeah, I was gonna say, based on that list from before, that like the United States didn't even show up on. I just want to make a clear reference here. Britain was more successful in the slave trade and still stopped earlier. We're just the best in every way.
no. No.
Well, to be fair, we were taking from a lot of different countries, so
Yeah.
You're the
well,
best at robbing other countries. That's what
yeah,
it is.
that's a talent. Sly Cooper is a great game.
I
fucking hate you.
was gonna say, we're talking about slavery. I can't wait for this to somehow route back to John Brown again, like it always, like every conversation does.
Like every conversation.
Okay, then
should.
let's
Like every
not
conversation
talk.
should. Yeah.
Then let's talk about something else. If you're so scared of John Brown,
I'm not afraid of John Brown. I worship John Brown. John Brown is the one.
I mean, he
truly-
is one of the greatest American heroes,
He is
like,
truly
in history.
Yeah.
The Titan against tyranny.
What? How tall was he again?
Paul, He was a tall boy.
He wasn't 7'6"
He's
like
big.
Count Chocula, that's for sure. Big Wild Knight.
Chocula. So that's all.
No, not the football player.
He was more than 6 feet tall.
Count Chocula, the football player?
No.
Count Chocula would be an unfair advantage.
John Brown, the football player, is 5'11". John Brown, the American hero, no one has his height.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen for height is that he was over 6 feet. Which, for the time, is still massive.
He's a fucking titan.
Titan against tyranny.
Yeah. He like a fucking X-Men walking around, threatening his white neighbors.
Good.
It's like, hey, John, we want you to get these Indians off the land because they just keep camping over there and we don't like them. And John's like, oh, that's interesting. Be ashamed
I
if
would rather
murdered
kill
right
you.
now."
Oh, lame. I just found a link that denies what I've just claimed.
Bet he's not tall.
Wow, camper.
I choose to believe in propaganda that John Brown was a giant.
John Brown is also often thought to have been over 6 feet tall, when in reality he was 5'9" tall. The reason for this conclusion was that John Brown was much taller than most people in the 1850s, and was commonly described as being very tall by his contemporaries.
So he's average height in the modern day, but like back then he was a titan.
Holy shit, I'm the same size as John Brown!
Wow.
I am a titan.
How tall was Thomas Jefferson?
I don't know, like 2 feet.
This says
That's probably
6'2".
accurate.
6'2".
Yeah. So,
that's why people-
I prefer what I said.
now, does this count him standing on top of his slaves? Because it, like... Abraham Lincoln was 6'4".
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but he's known for being tall.
an interesting
Yeah,
trend
but
with a lot of
still.
U.S. presidents is a lot of them are rather tall, because it's a thing
Yeah.
of power and authority.
Well, it's because if you wanted to vote for someone, you wanted to see their face, and so you just voted for whoever stood out the most.
You look up for the sun, and whoever's blocking it out for you, that's who you're like. I guess that guy.
I guess he's in charge.
Yeah, but like most presidents are like in the like 5'10" and above.
Yeah, people used to think that the reason we didn't elect a woman president was because they were women. No, it's just because women are shorter than the men standing next to them on the podium.
Had a woman ran that was like 6'7", the dumbass colonists back then would have been like, "Oh my god, a titan! I mean, we gotta vote her and she'll kill us if we don't."
Yeah, if Gwendolyn
she's
Christie
taller.
ran for president, she'd get voted in.
Yeah, instant. Instant.
Is that our new theory, our new conspiracy theory? The taller the woman, the more likely they are to be president.
I think just the taller you are in general.
Yeah.
I mean, if it comes to like going up against other women, I'm fairly taller.
You know what? You know what we should do? Like, you know how
No.
like, people like basically like
Tell
have
me.
a kid and basically like raise them for like sports. Let's have a kid and like raise them for presidency. And like
I'm
give them a
pretty
bunch
sure
of
people
growth
do that.
hormones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but they do
Yeah,
it
you-
wrong
you-
with like money and stuff. Let's do it with science. And
Science?
curses.
Genetically
and, I don't know,
engineer
matchstick or
the
something.
perfect president.
I want to make a super soldier as our president.
I mean, I'd elect Chris Evans.
Yeah, if we had a super soldier as the president, that would be pretty cool because it's just like who's gonna fuck with us now? Our president can't be killed.
I don't think that's how the super soldier works.
It will when we get our hands on it.
Like they can be safely frozen in ice, but like that's about as far as it goes. I'm pretty sure.
Sounds pretty immortal to me.
There's more ways to kill someone than freezing them in ice.
The shortest president was James Madison at 5'4".
Oh.
Wow.
Well, now we just gotta get Maya elected so she can beat that.
Yeah.
Well, the
Shortest president at 3 inches.
problem is you have to be
No
at least
one-
35 years old to be a president, so Maya's still got 34 years to go before she can qualify.
Yeah. Ugh, that's a rough one.
Who was the man who did the thing
Mad. That's a lot.
George
In
Washington.
fact, I'd say that's all of them.
No, not that one. The other
That's
guy. The Confederate general guy, Ulysses. What was his name?
Ulysses S.
No, that's not the Confederate.
What was his
That's not the
name?
Confederates.
What was the Confederate general?
Robert
Robert E. Lee.
Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Yeah.
That's right. I always
Wasn't
get
he the
him and
guy
Ulysses
that,
S. Grant mixed up.
He was the guy who looked at Georgia and said, "I could annihilate that completely."
Oh, that was William Tecumseh Sherman.
You're so good
Okay.
with history, Dan.
I mean, that is sort of my thing.
Yeah, Dan had to pick up slack after memes left.
Yeah, Dan. What president? If we were to resurrect all the 40, how many fuckers are there?
46.
46 presidents.
Except not all of them are dead.
Well,
Yeah.
soon.
Give us time.
Eventually, everyone dies. But if we had all 46, 47, 46?
Yes, 46.
46
46.
presidents,
I
and we
know.
resurrected the
Yeah.
dead ones in their prime, which one do you think would beat you in a fight?
Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah,
Without a doubt.
yeah, I understand. Yeah. No need to further explain.
He is the fucking most fucking manly president there was. He
Big
was
Teddy.
fucking insane.
Yeah.
Wasn't he a boxer?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a
lot-
lost
he was a
vision
lot
in one of
crazy
his
things.
eyes because
I mean,
someone hit him.
he also had asthma, so
Yeah, and he beat it.
And
Clearly
he,
didn't stop.
yeah, that's fair.
and he beat it.
I mean, I believe the quote I heard about him dying was that death had to take him in his sleep, otherwise there would have been a fight.
Yeah, he's the only president who sailed down an unknown river.
Excuse me, fucking crazy person.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he went on an expedition in the Amazon. Almost died.
He's an author,
That's it.
conservationist, explorer, historian, naturalist, police commissioner, politician, soldier, and sportsman.
Yeah,
And
he's
Nobel
the only
Peace Prize
president.
winner.
He's the only president to have both won a Medal of Honor and a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh, here's another thing.
He also
His children's names are Alice, Theodore III, Kermit, Ethel, Archibald, and Quentin.
Okay, well, first of all, he missed an opportunity not naming that second kid Thirdador.
Thirdador.
Thirdador the first.
The squeakle.
yeah. If I remember correctly, he also had a pet badger.
Excuse me?
Yeah, one time when he was out, a little girl came up to him and asked him if he wanted a badger, and he said sure, thinking the child was like joking or like playing a game or something. And then the child walked away for a bit and then came back with a badger and gave it to
Oh.
him.
Okay, well,
See,
And he kept it.
based on what I know of Teddy Roosevelt, I fully expected that story to be he was outside one day, a badger challenged him, he beat it, and then it became his loyal
and
companion.
claimed it, yeah. A president I don't think I could win a fight against is probably Andrew Jackson. Not because he would have a strength advantage over me, but because I feel like we would be fighting and he would pull a gun.
Yeah, he cheat.
I mean, yeah.
He
that makes
he
sense.
is a crazy person, and he
Well,
loves killing.
Madhouse, wanna know what would happen if Andrew Jackson showed up?
What? I'd cough when he
He
die of
would-
COVID.
No, he would show up and he'd get up in your face and he'd whisper into your ear, "You have seen this man."
Shut up. Holds up a bill. Have you seen this man?
I feel like Andrew Jackson would cheat in a duel, kill someone, and then say, let the courts enforce it.
Andrew Jackson would cheat in a duel in a weird way. It's like you're both walking around with your guns and you're walking back away from each other, and he turns around early and throws a knife.
Yeah, it's like, technically I didn't shoot him.
He didn't shoot, yeah, so he's like, I didn't cheat. He's like, yes, you did, you fucking asshole.
Excuse me, find me in the letter of the rule where I can't throw a knife before the timer's done.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't always need to use guns in duels. I mean,
Oh yeah, there are
Abraham
sword
Lincoln
duels,
won
weren't
duels
there?
because he always chose to use swords
Yeah,
because he had better reach.
I think duels, frankly, became way less interesting the second they started using guns.
Hmm.
You know what they should do? They should get like a nice like spinner wheel whenever there's a duel that's about to happen, and it like chooses a random weapon, and that's what they have to use.
God, I'd hate that.
It's like, and your dueling weapon will be a frying pan.
Oh, I
And
mean,
yours will be a jar of bees.
dude, I take the jar. That's a ranged weapon that attacks several times.
Yeah, but it can attack you as well.
Well, no, but that's why you do the paces and then throw it and run.
Yeah, you shake it while you're walking.
Yeah, bonus points if you hit them with the jar so that it breaks and they get shattered glass in them, and then while they're dealing with the shattered glass, this droning death descends upon them.
They can't get the glass out because there's bees everywhere.
Yeah, the bees have produced honey, which makes the glass sticky, so it doesn't come out.
No. It's the ultimate weapon, a jar of bees.
Yeah. Also, how long do I have with this weapon? Do I have time to tame it?
To tame the bee? Can you train the bees to follow your
Yeah.
orders?
Ooh, wait, do you think they're gonna give you a weapon and then be like, okay, and now you have a month to train with this weapon?
That would be good. That would be fair.
I don't think that's how this works. Duels are generally, okay, time to have a duel. Okay, now do it.
Think
Well,
about
there's tons of prep. There's like, pistols at dawn, and then they have to arrange everyone who's going to be involved. They have to find a doctor.
yeah, it's in the song.
The 10 dual commandments didn't feature
look,
bees, but if
hey.
bees were there,
No, Madhouse, you're wrong. I watched Hamilton. They didn't have that song in there.
Let's talk
This
about Scamilton.
oh god.
Have you ever wanted to watch Hamilton, but really bad?
Well, you're in luck.
Well, is it still up? It's probably still up.
It's gotta be up. Someone's gotta have it up there.
It's somewhere.
Scamilton
Oh, yeah.
is the.
I don't want to watch Scam.
Oh, it is still up. Oh, thank Christ. Yes.
Yeah.
It is the conservative Texas church. I think they're called the Door Christian Fellowship, and they illegally performed Hamilton.
They said it was legal, but
They
they
did
lied.
not acquire the rights
So-
correctly,
Straight lie.
and
Also,
they also changed everything.
That's they didn't change everything. There are some things that they kept the same, just quieter.
It is the most magical thing I've ever watched in musical theater. It's beautiful and I love it. The lights don't work. The mics don't work. The actors don't work. The songs don't
None of
work.
it works.
Here's the thing. Okay, so my personal greatest grief is the lighting.
It's so bad.
Because the lights are fine. It's who's behind them that's the problem.
We watched a bit of it with Cash, and Cash, you did lighting when you were in high school, right, with theater.
Yes, theirs was atrocious. They was so
Cash was
fucking
in
atrocious.
physical pain watching it because of just the lighting alone.
My favorite part, I think, is when the spotlight goes up the stairs to someone doing a monologue who has to walk into the light, and the second they get into the light, the spotlight moves away, even though there was no reason to move it at that point. They had found the light, and the light ran, and they were still in mid monologue. Like this is not. It's not as though something was happening. They're just like, oh god, like doing the exact opposite of their job.
The light perks, I want to meet them because either they were someone totally in support of the church and just completely incompetent, or they were someone who knew exactly what the fuck they were doing.
Yeah, either they were on God's side and sucked, or they were on Satan's side and were doing a great job.
There's no in between.
Also, I just found one. I looked up Scamilton on YouTube. Scamilton out of context worst parts, but it's only 3 minutes.
Oh, there's
So-
definitely a lot more parts that are worse than.
Yeah.
There's more
Also,
than that.
Strange that it's only 3 minutes and not the entire show.
Although when I did highlight it, you get that little preview of like the middle of the video. It does have the no part, so I mean, at least they did get one of my favorites.
One of my personal favorites is looking at the rolling hills. I can't believe that we are free. It's like he just kept going up and wouldn't stop.
And the fact that Peggy does not give a shit, does not want to be there in any way, shape, or form.
Extremely visible that Peggy is just like, she is not about it. She's not here for it. She doesn't give a shit about it.
Yeah,
I think in.
My favorite part has to be Treasure Your State.
Treasure Your State.
Your State.
For context. For context, for those who haven't seen it. Obviously, during that part, Hamilton is trying to get an answer out of George Washington.
Treasure yours,
and
I know it's a lot.
In the musical, he is speaking.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he's speaking in Scamilton too.
But his microphone.
You just can't hear him because his microphone isn't on. So you listen very closely. You can hear the echoes of his voice as he's trying to be heard.
It sounds like a ghost from like 15 doors down.
Which is made even better by the fact that at the end of the play, when everyone is ghosts, the light doesn't know who it's looking at any given time. So all you kind of see is feet on the top level and the heads of people on the bottom. So bad.
It's amazing content. I love it. I love it so much.
Okay, so that's the worst of the non-professional musicals you've ever seen.
Yeah.
What would you say is the best non-professional musicals you've seen?
Lizard Boy the musical.
They're professional.
I would say non-professional in the sense that it's indie.
I don't think that's how that works, Madhouse.
I don't know how shit works.
Like, on one hand, I understand it's a great musical. It's amazing,
fantastic.
But on the other hand, it's not professional. They very much. I get where you're coming from. But
are you gay and like dragons? Listen to Lizard Boy the musical right now.
Do it now.
Just stop.
What are you doing? Why are you watching this stream?
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Go listen to Lizard Boy the musical.
Yeah, I don't know why I said watch. There's nowhere to watch it. Listen to Lizard Boy right now. Watch the lyrics pass by and imbue them in your soul.
What was another
hard thing? Because I feel like if you're able to see a musical, it's probably professional.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, they're getting paid for it. Which, like, what's the boundary here for professional?
I mean,
high school stuff.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was thinking.
Ooh.
Like, it's like you're doing it for fun, or it's something you're interested in, but you're not necessarily getting paid for it.
That one time I was in a cult and they wouldn't stop singing, I just want to be a sheep, ba 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 ba.
I don't think that's a musical, Madhouse.
Well, it fucking felt like it because they never shut the fuck up, okay?
I mean, I'll tell you the one I'm thinking of. The one I'm thinking of is Alien the Musical.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Alien the Musical, Madhouse.
A high school production of the movie Alien.
They just letting anybody make a musical, huh?
What was the best song from it?
I don't remember. I don't think I've actually seen it. I've seen bits and pieces of it, and I know that the original cast of Alien saw it and they funded it to get more showings.
So is this like Alien from like Sigourney Weaver and all that?
Yes, exactly. Like Sigourney Weaver and Ridley Scott saw it and were extremely impressed by it. So they funded a few more productions of it.
You stupid bitch.
I don't think that counts as non-professional.
What obscure point in history or phenomenon do you think would make a really good or weird musical?
The Boston molasses flood.
You were so ready. Why were you so prepared for the answer?
Because you said obscure point in history, and I always
explain the Boston molasses flood, please.
I mean, it
need to
sounds
look
pretty
it up.
self-evident, doesn't it?
When did this take place and how did it come about?
The Great Molasses Flood, also known as the Boston Molasses Disaster, was a disaster that occurred in, okay, so I was right, it was in 1919, January 15th, 1919, in the North End neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. A large storage tank filled with 2.3 million gallons of molasses, weighing approximately 12,000 tons, burst, and the resultant wave of molasses rushed the street at an estimated 35 miles per hour, killing 21 and injuring 150.
5 miles.
The event entered local folklore, and residents claimed for decades afterwards that the area still smelled the molasses on hot summer days.
Yeah, they literally had to wait for the molasses to harden before they could actually reach the people who were trapped in it.
Oh my god, that's a terrifying fate.
Yeah, so they had to just literally sit there for 2 days before anyone could reach
Literally
them.
a death slow as molasses.
So, basically what had happened is that the preceding days, it was January, so it was cold as shit.
Oh god.
But then on January 15th, the temperature was 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
So, which was rapidly a lot higher, which
expanded the metal of the
expanded the metal, and the molasses stuff, and it just burst out, and
What would, okay, now to the other question, what would a musical about that look like? What is the number one, like, what is the number one song of the what is the title of this?
Slow.
What was that?
It would look slow.
well, it moved at 35 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty slow. For a
But-
disaster.
For a disaster.
With a lot
You
faster
could have
than
outran
you.
it.
Yeah, but I'm not. Well, I mean, I am a walking disaster, but it's more of like when you think of disasters, they tend to happen quickly, like tidal waves coming in at ridiculous speeds.
People didn't exactly have cars back then.
Yeah, I don't think people planned for the molasses flood.
Yeah. People couldn't
were-
outrun a 35-mile-an-hour molasses wave camper.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they could. I'm just saying it's still on the level of disasters, slow.
You know how people would be like, oh, I want to see, like, a star explode. I want to go back in time and see, like, the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. Or I want to, like, go back in time and see this. I want to go back in time and see the moment that tank fucking blew up. Because... and it shouldn't be as funny as it is. But it's just, like, imagine you're just, like, chilling in Boston on a nice, like, January evening. And you're just talking to your buds on the corner and whatnot. And you just hear boom, and you're like, what the fuck was that? And the next thing you see is a bunch of brown syrup flooding through the streets. It's just such a ridiculous thing.
I mean, if something's gonna kill me, I'd like it to be just maple syrup. That'd be good.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice.
At least it would taste good as I die.
What
Yeah,
flooding
maple syrup.
substance should kill you? Mine is packing peanuts.
I mean, if you died to packing peanuts, then I feel like you were packed too tightly. That's a UPS issue.
Please shut up.
Actually, I looked up weirdest events in history.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No.
I found a fantastic list, but one of the things that stood out to me is at the 1904 Olympics in St. Louis,
Oh, I know this one, yeah.
the marathon was a total mess. The first place finisher did most of the race in a car. The guy in second almost died from eating rat poison, and the fourth place finisher raced in dress pants and shoes and took a nap by the side of the road for part of the race. That sounds like key material for a musical. Because you have so many different characters, and all of them have a fascinating story.
I think I would like a musical around. It's Cats-like, but it's from the part in history when the Pope declared war on cats.
Okay.
Which, funny enough, led to the fucking plague because there were no cats eating all the rats that were carrying all the diseases.
I all started with the old woman who could believe it.
I think that people should have a musical about the Peshtigo family.
Or the horse priest of Caligula.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think the horse singing the hit number, the number one song on the track would be the best part.
I feel like Caligula. Well, there's already a movie, but I don't know how accurate that is.
You guys hear about that town that's being terrorized by turkeys?
Yes.
Yeah, you told me about
Oh
it.
yeah, I did bring that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that it's a little town in Massachusetts that's just been getting terrorized by this gang of turkeys. And the most aggressive one, the ringleader of the turkeys, the town of Woburn, Massachusetts, is nicknamed Kevin.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was hoping for something alliterative,
No.
like the Terror Turkey,
Thanks killing.
the Turkey Terror of Thamesville.
But yeah, the turkeys have been attacking people on their way from their cars to their houses or vice versa. They've been like ganging up around schools, getting just attacking kids on bikes. They've just been going to town, and it feels like a Monster of the Week threat, honestly.
Yeah, those turkeys are basically my spirit animal.
Yeah, I want the musical about that from the townsfolk's perspective.
Gobbledygook.
I wouldn't want it from folks' perspective. I would want it from the turkeys.
Oh, you want to hear from the turkeys?
Oh yeah, of course.
We already have that movie. It's called Chicken Run.
This is our town now.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
man.
tell them, Kevins.
That means the turkeys have to have at least one scene where they're snapping in formation down an alleyway toward a kid on a bike.
They're not snapping, they're gobbling.
Is that what it's called? Is that what it's called? Gobbling? They're googling?
Yeah. Yeah, they're gobbling.
Gobbling, yeah, yes.
Gobble gobble.
Gobbling.
Something like that.
That was a really good turkey noise.
Thanks, I used to hunt turkeys.
That's right, I keep forgetting about that.
Wow, do you think that's true of anyone who has a good impersonation of someone? Like, yeah, that's a great Danny DeVito. Yeah, well, you'll never know how I learned it.
I used to hunt him for a living. I was a hired assassin back in 2002.
I used to hunt Danny DeVito for sport.
I used to hunt him. Never could have catch the bitch.
Yeah, dude, he's wily.
Just like those turkeys.
It's a
I used to hunt.
real Roger Rabbit situation.
He's wily and always carries a gun.
Almost had him once. Got away.
Hitting the couch.
I just imagine this grizzled guy at the end of a bar, and he's just smoking his cigar. He's like, I can do a real mean Danny DeVito impersonation. I was like, okay, cool, dude. He's like, you never know how I figured it out. It's like, why are you so close?
Yeah, he's just the captain from Jaws, except instead of hunting sharks for a living, he's just a Danny DeVito specialist.
Oh no, he's like a celebrity stalker, and that's how he gets all these impersonations. And one day he wants to be the number one actor. This is a Halcyon City villain.
So instead of the captain of a boat, he's the captain of a Star Tours tram.
Oh yeah.
But he's dressed up like a sea captain, and he has one eye. He has these horrible scars, and he's like, "Yeah, these ones I got from Chris Pratt."
Call me a captain of industry.
A captain to the stars.
Oh my god.
Alright, that's my next beacon.
The captain of the stars. You should play the Tom Holland to the captain of the stars so that he can.
Oh yeah, my mentor is the guy who hunts celebrities, and I'm Tom Holland.
Trying to stand out.
Your mentor is paparazzi.
Yeah.
Paparazzi. Wow.
I understand where you're coming from, but that could also be seen as a bit in bad taste. Seeing as, if I remember correctly, Tom Holland had nightmares about paparazzi.
Oh yeah, he's like.
I feel like
yeah.
a lot of celebrities have it,
Okay.
though. Like, I mean, look, Princess Diana had a very short-lived nightmare.
Yeah, it's called being a corpse.
Yeah. Well, that one's still going.
Yeah.
Please shut the hell up.
I'm English. I can make these jokes.
Who
Yeah,
died from
and-
England recently? Who was that bitch who died? Oh, the Queen. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Queen! The whole as Queen!
Potentially the most important person.
The whole They used to have a queen, now they don't.
Yeah, we lost our whole ass queen.
Can't
I
believe
mean,
we
she was
forgot
more of a half-ass queen.
that. Well, she's a dead ass queen now.
Yeah, but then you have to get a pull onto the end of the board to get another one.
So who's the next queen or king?
Uh,
I mean, the next king after Charles is William.
Yeah, where's his hair?
I like that you.
what's his what?
His
His
what?
hairline.
I don't know. Fucking disappeared, huh?
Who is the king of England? Charles III. What? Oh!
Yeah.
Oh God! Well, we're gonna get another one pretty soon. Jesus Christ!
Yeah, but I was gonna say Prince Charles the eroded is currently the king.
He looks like he's like, oh God. Where's
Prince Charles the desaturated.
how did like kings and queens begin?
I mean, they owned the food.
Like, wasn't it a thing like they kind of just went around to their neighbors and just like slaughtered their enemies and took their shit until the point that they had enough power to say like, yeah, I own this now.
I mean, sort of. It's more complicated than that, but it's basically like through a bit of conquest and a bit of like, I have the shit you want, so if you want this shit, do what I say.
Ah.
That's the basis of civilization, at least.
Huh.
We got the oats, now we're the goats.
Last night, my boyfriend learned what gruel was.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because I had mentioned it, and he's like, what the fuck is gruel? I'm like, that's that shit that Oliver Twist was eating. And then...
I mean...
I never really knew what exactly it was either. And then I was like, oh, it's just grains and hot water.
Yeah.
And that's
It's
it.
basically bad oatmeal.
It's just really bad oatmeal.
Please, sir, can I have some more of this shitty oatmeal?
He's like, ew, why? Gross.
Thin porridge.
Please, I love it so much. Please give me
Oliver Twist
more.
has like a little bit of like sugar in his pocket that he's been like sprinkling on.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that makes porridge.
Well, it's not... I mean, it's got something he's sprinkling into it. I don't know if
Crap.
it's sugar.
Well, I mean, given the era, probably dandruff.
Tears. What is the story of Oliver Twist? That's all I know is that he asks for more gruel and he gets beat up by an adult.
Or
I don't know about Oliver Twist, but I do know about Oliver and Company.
Who
yeah,
is Oliver?
Oliver Twist's whole thing is that he is a poor orphan that gets taken in by essentially like a master thief, quote unquote, and is taught to like be a pickpocket and everything, and that's where he finds his family. But then his mentor tries to like sell him off, and it doesn't go well.
Oh.
Yeah, basically his life fucking sucks.
What's the moral of the story?
Don't be poor.
Oh.
Hey, Madhouse wanna know something?
Yeah.
Not every story has a lesson.
Every story has a lesson.
Now that's just That's just not true, Mad.
Give me a story.
I mean, I could make up a story right now and it'd have no point to it.
that's
Well,
not the
I think
same
the point of
thing.
it is to have no point, then, isn't it?
Oh,
Yeah. Take that.
because
Every
then the
story has-
lesson is not every story has a lesson, which is in
Oh,
itself a
boom!
lesson.
That's a lesson.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Every
I'm
story
not gonna
has
just
a
sit here and just
lesson.
Garbage.
Simple
Look, I'm just gonna-
could
look.
be called.
Look, Dan's gonna kill one of y'all one day. and he
I
have to ask
love
why.
the 3 seconds of silence of Dan just getting more pissed off for telling us to shut up.
I mean, I can only take so much of your fucking bullshit before I snap.
Yeah, I intend to die with a surplus.
Death Plus Premium.
Fucking, I hate that service. It's way too fucking much, way too expensive.
Isn't it weird how expensive it is to die?
Yeah, it
Like,
is
why?
extremely expensive
To dig
for
a hole in the
some fucking
ground?
reason.
Like, it's like
I mean-
someone literally made a fucking industry off of, oh, people want to put their dead people in the ground. I'm gonna own that ground, so they have to pay me for that now.
They're like landlords for dead people.
Yeah, it's like, who the fuck's paying you, dudes?
I mean, you
corpses,
can just
I
not
guess.
do that.
I mean, fucking, when I die, just fucking throw my body in the fucking woods or something. I don't give a shit.
Let them
Don't pay
find Dan and
for
think
it.
it's a mystery.
No, what you do is you, like, it would probably be way cheaper to do this, actually, is, like, rent out, like, a pizza oven
Uh-huh. Oh, God.
and just throw them in there.
Oh, we could do like our little indie startup of a crematorium.
Yeah. Cremation on delivery.
Welcome to the Powered by the House crematorium. Oh, we could have like a truck, like it's a food truck, but only for cremations.
Yeah, it's a truck, but it's actually a furnace.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and it helps because we don't pay for gas because it's all powered by the furnace.
Yeah, and it's a family deal. It's big enough. You just if you want to order in bulk, that's fine. You get a discount.
Cremation for the whole family. Has your uncle been sitting there for a bit too long? You're trying to get rid of him along with your aunt? Boom, we got you. We'll be there in a
Granddad, a bit too racist.
day. Wait, are we a cremation service or an execution service?
Well, I mean, the best
What's
way
the
forward is
difference?
multiple rolls, right?
Oh yeah. We have
Stick
to
a
do
finger in every pot, and then burn it.
Look, Madhouse, you can't cremate someone unless they're dead. So obviously, we need a service to make that happen.
Oh yeah,
I mean-
we got a lobby for assassination. No, God, you know what we just did?
Yeah.
We just made fucking repo. We just made repo.
Would you like to repossess your life?
You make an entire industry based on life and death, and then you lobby for another company or another kind of industry that helps people get to that point.
You know, I am firmly of the belief that if people thought they could repossess people's bodies, they would absolutely do it.
Oh yeah, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
And it would
Yeah.
probably look like that fucking movie where they have like the clocks on their wrist.
Yes,
You have to buy
what is it,
time.
In Time.
I always,
with Justin
I always
Timberlake, right?
I always remember that movie and then forget about it.
Yeah, Justin Timberlake
Yeah.
was almost one of those white men who became every actor, but he just wasn't fit for it.
Well, I mean,
That's,
he spent too long as a singer.
Yeah, that's the trick. The gateway closes after a while.
Yeah, if you get typecast, it's over.
Yep.
You have to be typecast as a leading man.
Yeah, you have to be a general generic white actor man, and then you're set.
General White Actor Man!
How many general white actor men can you name? Go. Exactly.
You're like, oh,
They're all the same.
Tom Cruise,
Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt.
Tom Holland,
There's other ones out there, right?
Chris Pratt.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Humphrey
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Bogart.
There's
Let's see. Oh, there are so many though. Nope, not Jon Stewart. No, yes, Jon Stewart.
who the fuck is Jon Stewart?
God, American.
Is that the guy from like the one show,
The one
no,
show.
the
I
Daily
might
Show?
be thinking
Is
of the
that
wrong
what it is?
guy.
I
You
mean,
know, Jon
yes, but
Jon Stewart is the comedian. I was thinking of fuck, what's his name?
Patrick Stewart.
No.
Rat eyes.
What is his name? I thought it was something Stewart, but maybe it's not.
The thing is, Camper, he never existed. It's all the same guy.
John Hopkins.
Who? You could string together two Anglo-Saxon names, and I believe you that that's a person. Also, isn't John Hopkins a university?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's also that, yes.
Oh, I remember a topic that we talked about long ago that we discussed, but I don't remember it. So let's talk about it here. And
Okay.
Hugh Grant is what I was thinking of.
Who?
Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant. The fuck is that? Anyways,
I've heard that name before.
He was in a lot of movies as the English love interest.
is he the English Chris Pratt?
Is the English love interest a common trope?
Yes, actually.
What were you saying, Matt?
Yeah, so a thing that we had talked about a while ago was in the era of the Death Note movie that Netflix made and Fate, the Winx Saga that Netflix also made. We were thinking, what other beloved childhood cartoons or media or shows should get a and should, very liberally using should here, get an edgy Netflix remake or reboot. And I think I actually talked about this with Mecca, boyfriend, and he had said totally Spies.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes sense. Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Not
That'd be
bad.
a
It
good
would
one.
be it would be
Not a
so
bad
bad.
choice.
It'd be so bad.
Yeah, it'd just be Charlie's Angels, which already exists
Yeah.
and is basically what it's
Yeah,
based
but
on.
it would be an edgy reboot. Of
Yeah, they
Charlie's
would say
Angels.
like, "Oh yeah, they're not your average. They're not like other girls. They don't care about their looks,"
I'm
which is
not-
inherently not true about the show.
If only it was composite. I'm just your basic average girl, and I'm basic and I'm a girl, and I'm here to sing.
Let's get H2O Joe Sad Water, but an edgy Netflix remake.
I'd say Kim Possible, but they already did a live action Kim Possible.
Yeah,
Well, remember, it's not just live action.
it's got to be a
we're not like
gritty live
And it was pretty edgy
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah.
Guess what?
I know they tried to. I know they tried to do it, or are trying to do it. I don't know if it's still on an ongoing process with the Powerpuff Girls.
Oh, that got canceled horrifically.
Yeah.
The first
Okay.
script was so
I wasn't-
bad that it didn't even continue with the green light. It was just
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just like they were trying to like rewrite it or something.
You know what would be great as an edgy remake?
Okay.
But
Camper.
Obviously, when I say great, it's with quotes. But Danny Phantom,
Oh yeah.
I feel like you've got so much leeway there. You could definitely have Danny fighting like the ghost from The Ring
Oh yeah.
and The Grudge, and like tormented over the fact that he is half dead and half alive. And oh
Yeah.
my god, you have so many
That
pathways.
one would make sense as an edgy remake, right? But the thing
Yeah.
is, they would do it wrong somehow. I just know it.
Yeah. Yeah, they do it wrong, it would be awful. But, like, the best thing about it would be both how disappointed people are that it's bad, but also how disappointed people are because there's, like, a fraction of good stuff in there
Yeah.
that they wish would be explored.
It'd be one of
That
those
would be
things of
fantastic.
like you did okay, but you could do better.
Yeah.
Danny Phantom
And then
is really
they
good
make-
because it's just Ghost Spider-Man, essentially.
Also, they make Tucker white.
Oh yeah, definitely. No, they make him. They wouldn't
yeah.
whitewash him. They make him like Latino or something though.
Oh, yeah.
And then they would say like, oh yeah, his name is. They're like, and his name is Tucker, and everyone's like, that doesn't sound right. And they're like, oh yeah, because his real name, and they would put in like the most Hispanic name that they fucking can.
Yeah. Jose Tucker
Yeah. They would
Martinez.
say like Jose Tucker Salazar or something like that.
Oh, because his first name is Tuco.
Oh yeah.
Tuco Tucker.
Like in Breaking's Bad?
Yeah.
What's another good edgy reboot?
Arthur. Hey, Arthur.
And I said, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. But it's set like when they're like in their 20s, like post college, and like someone fell off and shit.
So the finale episode?
Yeah. Like someone's a drug dealer, someone's a drug addict, someone's had like 3 kids.
Yeah, like I said, the finale episode. I wish they'd done that. I would have loved that. They have like this totally, chill kids show where Arthur only occasionally punches his baby sister. And then in the finale, Buster is a straight up like gang banger. That would be great. Buster comes in, he's got tattoos, he sells drugs.
You know what I just thought of?
Yeah.
What?
The Magic School Bus.
Oh.
But now here's the thing. Magic School Bus is already very diverse. What they would do is they would go completely left field with it and make it like a troubled school. With a similarly diverse cast, but all the kids like have a separate problem. And Miss Frizzle's like their fairy godmother, basically, on the school bus.
Do you know what it is? It's like all these kids are in trouble, they're all going through the court system, and they all get onto the bus to juvie, and then Miss Frizzle's whole thing is trying to make them better people before they arrive, so that they don't actually have to go.
Now, actually, I would watch that. I would actually watch that. That sounds kind of fun.
Magic School Bus Dark.
Oh, I just imagine the trailer of it's like some super edgy, like fucking modern 2020 song. It's like going, I'm the bad guy, and it's like showing like all the kids and whatnot. And as it goes, and like Arnold's getting on the thing, he's like, well, maybe this will be a normal ride, and then someone's like, with this lady, no way, and just hear, and then it cuts to black.
The lights flip open on the fucking juvie bus, and they start animatedly looking around.
It's like, what the fuck? They're like, guys, I think there's something wrong with our transport lady.
She tells them all to sit down, pulls out a shiv.
Cruising in the prison yard.
But then it's not a threat, it's just sit down for their own safety, and then she's going to teach them how to make a shiv.
It's
a craft lesson.
Make it through.
The entire season is just them on the bus on the way to juvie and getting into hijinks.
Oh, yeah.
Why doesn't this exist yet?
Yeah, Netflix. Come on.
Yeah, like, minimal royalties here.
The fucking Magic School. I would watch the shit out of that, actually, immediately. I would binge watch the hell out of an edgy Magic School Bus series about teen delinquents with the frizz. No way.
There goes Cash.
R.I.P. Cash.
Going to be dipping to hang with cousin, he says. Well, are we not your family, Cash? We were closer than brothers.
And now we gotta fight each other.
That's what we need. Edgy Netflix remake of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
No.
it's perfect.
Camper, that's just the original Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, I was about to say, it's already edgy.
Yeah,
no,
that's
but
season 0, but
they'd make it like they made Death Note edgier, and Death Note is Death Note.
First of all, I want it live action. Second of all, I want Yugi's hair to be exactly the same as it is in the anime.
But everyone else looks normal.
Yeah, everyone else, totally normal. I want his hair to be fucking wild. And then I want it to be, like, the actual card-centric storyline, so, like, you got Duelist Kingdom and everything. But when his grandfather's soul gets ripped out, there's gore. His chest gets ripped open by the spirit in the VCR. That'd be great. And then, like, it's not just a weird, like, surgery to fix his sister's sight. Joey's sister's actually gonna fucking die.
She has like cancer or something.
Yeah, she needs a bone marrow transplant, but it's very experimental, and the only way she'll survive is winning that money and really put the stakes on it. But then I want that original fucking song when they duel. I don't want a new edgy song. I want the old. Let the games begin. I want that. I don't want to update it either.
I want Yu-Gi-Oh played by Timothy Chalamet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Yu-Gi-Oh is Yugi's the boy and Yu-Gi-Oh's the man, or is it how's it work?
It's Yami.
Yami. Yeah.
Technically his name is Atem.
It's a secret. You're not supposed to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, technically they're both Yugi. One is just Dark Yugi. But then it's revealed later that his name is Atem.
I want to see Joey played by Pete Davidson.
Well, I see him as Tristan.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
I want Taya to be played by Cameron Diaz. Just completely out of the age range.
Like, why is she here?
It's like, well, look, she did great on Wednesday as Morticia, and there are no other notable female characters. Well, my Valentine, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh god, who would play
Excuse you, fucking Joey's sister.
Yeah, she doesn't count. She's barely a character. She's literally just a problem for Joey to solve.
Who's Kaiba?
Yeah, it's...
Oh god.
You need someone good for that.
Yeah, Kaiba has to be like the one... Kaiba has to be the fucking, the Willem Dafoe.
Oh yeah, he's gotta be the one like really well-known actor.
Yeah, the well-known actor who is just like leagues beyond what he's doing right now.
Who is like the only good part of the show.
Yeah.
Who could deliver on that role?
Kaiba. It needs to be someone with a really good voice too.
Oh. They make it Idris Elba.
Why? He's all old.
They said, fuck it, put him in there.
Oh god.
Because they make it like, oh yeah, this older guy is taken, now this kid has to fight this adult man and stuff. That's what they would do.
Alright, let's see. Who's relatively young, but that has a great, like, deeper voice? God. Okay, I'm trying to think of, like, recent movies. It can't be Tom Holland, he's too much of a baby.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Oh, there have to be some good options here.
What about Daniel Radcliffe?
That would be fantastic.
I love you. Like, it's perfect. There's nothing more that needs to be done.
Can we have Kaiba's edgy loner song in there?
What's Kaiba's edgy loner song?
Oh, hold on. I know this. Hold on. Oh, shit.
Don't say if I were you. Tell me what to do. 'Cause you're in my shoes. 'Cause you're not me.
Yeah, he would have to sing it. And he has to wear, like, the big white trench coat from Duelist City.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, with the fucking weird metal bumps everywhere. Oh, it'd be great. And then he has to be accompanied by Mokuba, and it has to be the most annoying, terrible child actor.
Yeah, so Daniel Radcliffe is Kaiba.
Yeah, I can see that.
I feel like he could act his ass off in them White Eyes Blue Eyes White Dragons.
Dude,
the White Eyes Blue Dragon.
What is it called? Is it Blue Eyes or White
Blue
Eyes?
Yes,
Blue Eyes
Blue Eyes
White
White.
Dragon.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a White Eyes Blue Dragon, though.
Honestly, probably.
You think they would use the four kids like super epic orchestral theme?
Oh, absolutely. Well, no, they do what they always do, where they would take the main theme and then put it under like a slower orchestra, as if like the same thing. Well, no, they did it with Mario too. They just took the main theme and had an orchestra play it, but slower to be more dramatic.
Oh god! But the Yu-Gi-Oh theme song.
But it's already orchestral.
The four
Yeah,
kids
but they do it
Yu-Gi-Oh
slower.
theme song is so. It's extra and so good.
It is pretty bomb.
Yeah,
And then-
move.
Yeah, and then they don't.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
And they do this thing where they get this really generic kind of orchestral thing where Yugi's about to lose to Pegasus, who I don't know who would play that, but I honestly Willem Dafoe. Just bring him back.
All of Willem Dafoe, no breaks, all of them, every role.
He'd be about to lose, and then he'd make the comeback, and then it would start playing a really big orchestral version, like do 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 do, and he'd throw down this card, and then the dark magician would come out, and it would be great. Netflix, where the fuck are you?
Yeah,
get on this.
Pick up Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on,
Yeah,
you're fucking.
you
up.
did Death Note.
What are we gonna do for the real character that everyone knows and loves, Bandit Keith?
Oh. You know what? Bandit Keith just lives and dies on being American. Make him Benedict Cumberbatch. And make sure he uses his normal accent.
Wait, also,
God.
we forgot, incredibly important character, Bakura.
You go
Oh.
to that show.
Bakura. Jesus Christ. Because you have to be able to do, like, the little, like, femboy version as well as the evil Yami Bakura. I don't know if anyone's
He can be
crazy enough.
Yami Bakura can be an evil femboy.
Yeah, but it's like, is there anyone... Are there any younger actors that can do,
Finn
like, a dual
Wolfhard as Bakura.
Oh my god. Dude, he barely even has to change his hair.
He just gotta put on the wig and he's good.
Just, all you have to do is gel it into spikes and then paint it purple.
Perfect. We've made
And
the
you've
perfect
got
series
Bakura.
here.
But wait, but why would Bakura's hair purple? I thought it was white.
It's one of those weird old anime things where it's like white but purple at the same time. It's like grayish because the shadow. It's weird. It's stupid. Okay, anime from the 2000s is weird.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's... How would I describe this? Lavender?
Yeah, or lilac.
Yeah.
I always saw it as white.
So
I'll be honest.
this 2023 summer Netflix lineup: Yu-Gi-Oh! The live action remake series, and the Magic School Bus.
I can get behind the vast majority of these.
Yeah, I feel like we got something good with the Magic School Bus right now.
Who's the character that gets made gay?
Excuse me.
Oh, Bakura.
Don't they do that? Don't they make characters gay?
What? Like just on a whim?
Netflix,
Yeah.
like, remakes.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like Bakura's the easy one. No! Oh, you know what? You get a big left turn on this one.
Okay.
Kaiba.
People would be quaking. Daniel
I know.
Radcliffe playing a gay villain.
Yeah, he's not a villain. He's an anti-villain at best.
He's a rival.
Yeah, and
Isn't
he would be
rival in
the
Joey ever
antagonist,
would.
more so.
he would be so gay for Yugi at first, and then it would transition to Joey.
Yugi boy.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Kaiba.
That's the thing. Pegasus is like the straightest man there.
Yeah.
Oh no!
It's a subversion of expectations.
Yeah, they managed to piss off everyone by turning the gay-coded man very, very straight and turning Kaiba very, very gay.
I can't wait for them to say at some point in the series, like, his grandpa's dying, his chest has been ripped open, there's gore and blood everywhere, and he's like, Grandpa, I can't lose you. He's like, you have to get the card back or whatever the fuck, because you're Yugi fucking O. Just like Billy fucking
Like,
Whisk.
that's not my last name.
It is now, Yu-Gi-Oh! Get out there.
Yo. Oh
Because
no!
now Yu-Gi-Oh! It's your move, and then the title plays.
Madhouse, I want you to know that you calling him Yu-Gi-Oh makes you sound like someone's like the parent of.
That's why it'd be
like,
perfect
a
to write it
10-year-old who's
because
really
I've
into
never watched
Yu-Gi-Oh.
the series. I've never
Yeah.
watched it, so I'd be the perfect person to write and pitch to Netflix. It'd be like, yeah, this sounds about right. You use the names.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
and-
I can't fault you there.
Yeah.
That's perfect logic.
Netflix,
if anything-
Netflix live actions are the embodiment of I skimmed through the text and then wrote the essay, and the professor's like, well, I mean, use some of the terms, I guess. There's a C.
Yeah, they basically looked at the Wikipedia synopsis, got bored halfway through, and then decided to make a movie based on it.
It's perfect.
Oh, fantastic. Part of me disappointed that I will never see this. Because now I want...
If you
I
saw
want
it, your
this.
life would never know peace out of the anguish that it was made and out of the obsession of having to watch it constantly.
That's the thing. I love the Death Note Netflix movie.
You love it?
Yeah,
hate
I love it. I love it because I hate it.
Can I get a quote on that?
It's yeah, let's get a quote on that one for December.
Here's the thing. I love bad movies. I'm a huge fan. So I fucking love the Netflix Death
So,
Note.
what you're saying is every movie that you like is bad.
Uh,
Got it.
It's up there. A lot of the movies I like are bad movies. But the problem is, like, I really like the Death Note Netflix movie. I just don't... I wasn't as big into Death Note as a lot of other people. So I don't have a whole lot of context for why it's so... I mean, I have enough. Like, I watched Death Note all the way through. It's just...
bad.
I'm not a huge fan of it, as much as I am Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! So a bad Netflix version of Yu-Gi-Oh! That's weird and super edgy and changes things unnecessarily so it's even worse would be like pure gold to me. Because everything I see I would hate, and I would love that.
Death Note, the live action Death Note, is one of those things where it's best when watched with others.
Yes.
Because if you're watching it alone, it's like sitting in a padded room and banging your head into a wall.
Yeah.
There's no joy
It's
to be
actual
had.
torture. Like, I much prefer to watch a bad movie with other people to riff on it.
When I first watched it back in college with my friend group then, the only thing that really got us from the beginning of the movie to the end was Willem Dafoe showing up. Because it's like, oh yeah, here's this white guy as his Japanese character and all these other people and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's like, and Willem Dafoe as Ryu, because the demon are like, now that's something I can get behind.
I think the first time I had to pause in that movie, so I could actually know what was happening because I was laughing too hard, was when he first shows up in the classroom and, like Turner, starts screaming.
The scream!
So good. It's so bad.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh my god.
It's true cinema.
Yep. Sheer quality.
What's another cartoon or...
By that, I mean all the
anime?
quality was sheared off.
Let's see, they've already ruined one of my fan favorites from childhood, The Winx Club, so that's not coming back.
Yeah. Emma
Um,
Stone. Emma Onyx.
shut up.
Oh god. TV. Oh, Jake Long, American Dragon.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
I can see that.
they'd fuck that up. How would they
They'd
fuck that up?
get what's his name? He's shown up now in the MCU. He played like the FBI agent guy with the card tricks.
The guy who plays Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, he would show up a lot as the dad, but he'd be like the special guest star, so he'd actually show up almost more than the protagonist.
No, not James Wood. Jimmy Woo. Who's the actor? What's his name? Randall Park.
Yeah. I
Um,
thought it was Park or Park something.
yeah.
But yeah, he would show up a lot.
Jake Long, he's Chinese, and it's like the first person we cast is a Korean man.
Well, yeah, they're Asian.
Yeah, Netflix doesn't care.
They barely care about races as it is.
If they could, they'd make them white.
Alright, hey, Madhouse.
Yeah.
What race was light?
He was Japanese, and then he turned white.
And then he turned white and then changed his name to Turner, so I don't think they give a shit.
It would
At least this is the right continent.
Do you think they would change Jake Long's ethnicity? So he's like
No,
he's like a white American, a blue eyes white dragon.
I don't think they would change his ethnicity, but I think that he had a sister, right? Like,
Yeah, he had a little sister.
I think he'd have an adopted white sister.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, they would be like
yes.
really affluent, like rich, like they would be like crazy rich Asians on the West Coast.
Yeah.
When I believe they were originally like they're like working class, like were they East Coast? Fuck, I don't remember the.
I believe they were East Coast.
They were East Coast, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I haven't seen that show in so long.
American Dragon.
I haven't seen that show in so Jake long.
Oh, oh, I'm gonna punch the shit out of you, dumb fuck. Yeah, it's in New York City.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
It's set in the boroughs of Manhattan.
So obviously it needs to be.
They're gonna put it in
like
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA.
And they're gonna make him a
obviously. That's
crazy
where
rich
all-
Asian.
Yeah.
Coast to
And,
coast,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah. His name, I forgot his name was Jacob Luke Long, aka Jake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
that's what.
his grandpa, Luong Lao Shi. Oh, his grandpa would still be like a very traditional, like, man, and like doesn't like the rich part of the family. He doesn't like all the wealth and all the glitz and glamour.
Yeah. He'd probably be someone played by a big name, like Asian actor. Who? Oh crap! Who was the guy they got in Bullet Train? Like the older Japanese actor.
And Bullet Train.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh, he's pretty famous. It's Andrew? No.
The one from Heroes.
Not the guy that played Hero. He was barely there. He was a side character, which I thought was
that's
hilarious.
the one I remembered. Okay, yeah, the most recognizable face. Okay, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, that's Hero.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Hiroyuki Sanada. Yeah.
Look at that guy. He is so cool. Yeah, he was in Last Samurai. Oh,
Yeah, he'd be good grandpa.
yeah. I love the we cannot have a single Chinese person on the cast though.
Yeah, we can't have a single Chinese person, even though it's a show about Chinese, a Chinese working class family. Not one.
Yeah.
No one. Not a single.
Yeah.
No.
Dad has to be
That's
Korean.
Netflix,
Grandfather
baby.
has to be Japanese.
Yep. Oh, that's what they do. They try to encompass as many Asian like groups as they can. They're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, look, it's a big blended family.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah, this would be horrible.
The only person with any Chinese heritage would be the white daughter.
What?
It's half white, half Chinese.
Yeah.
She got adopted.
Played by Chinese actress, plays by Japanese actress Scarlett Johansson.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was gonna. I was gonna say, isn't like I mean, I don't know what the fuck she's doing these days, but like I think her name is like Chloe Bennett. Isn't she like half Chinese?
Let's find out. Chloe Bennett is. Oh yeah. Chloe Wang, professionally known as Chloe Bennett. Oh, she's
I must
Chinese.
say-
Well, we
Yeah.
can't cast her.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was gonna because she's half Chinese, but she's fairly white passing. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, extremely. She was gonna be in Powerpuff. She was gonna be Blossom in Powerpuff.
Oh yeah, no, I know her. I mainly know her because she played Quake in Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, she plays Quake in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, she has become
Yeah,
just like the MCU. You become that character.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean she's. I feel like her and then even though it was up on like in one season or whatever, Ghost Rider were like the big like breakout stuff and all.
Yeah. I mean, the girl who plays Nico in The Runaways plays Nico in Midnight
And
Suns too.
yeah. Lyric.
Yeah, that's real cool.
Okano.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get on it. She's a good Nico.
Yeah, she's a very good Nico. Both in live
Good
action
play.
and voice acting, she's great at it.
Yeah, we opted not to do a crash cast on Midnight Suns because it was a very particular subject.
But man, is it good.
Yeah, it's a good shit. Like I think you do
yeah,
have to be a
it's-
comics fan to enjoy it because they really don't give you much
Yeah,
context.
They go for a lot of obscure. They have a lot of deep pulls.
It's very much, you got this game and you know why you got this game. Get
Yeah.
ready. Like, they're referencing, like, Shaman and Brother Voodoo and Elsa Bloodstone. And it's just like, most people are like, who the fuck are these people?
Yeah, I mean, Elsa Bloodstone at least gets a little more rep now because of.
Yeah. I almost
Yeah,
said
Werewolf by Night.
Werewolf by Night.
Vampire by Night.
I originally said LA Knight, the fucking wrestler.
Also, Bloodstone's so cool.
Yeah. They also referenced the Montesi's, which Ava will never shut the hell up about. Ava.
I don't see why that's relevant.
Yeah,
But
Midnight
yes.
Suns is a fantastic game.
Go
Really.
read Dark Cold Pages from the Book of Sin by Chris Cooper. Great read. Introduced the first canonical lesbian in Marvel, so you know. Good shit.
You know what I really loved about
Written by a black gay man, so that's cool as well.
what I've always really loved about comic books is with the Comics Code Authority and all that other shit that kind of restricted what they could do. Still a lot of writers back in the fucking 80s and even sometimes before and so on from then really did everything that they could to make comics as like inclusive and queer as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's really cool. Like the fact that Mystique and Destiny were always a couple and whatnot, and that Nightcrawler, Destiny was meant to be his mother, and Mystique was meant to be his father.
Yeah.
In the sense that she had shapeshifted and then blah blah blah, you know the deal. And the Comics Code, they were just like, we don't know about that. And so Chris Claremont was writing, and he's just like, yeah, and Mystique is your parent. And everyone's like, yeah, okay, I mean, yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, who's your dad? And he's like,
Mm.
And it's just like, that's how they got it. And I think that's really cool.
Everyone don't look into Kurt's dad. It's
You're gonna have a bad time. Fuck Azazel.
it's too much bullshit.
It's too much. Fucking
It's a lot of bullshit.
Demon mutant, angel mutants, Warren and Azazel. It's
The Chuck Austin run was a very specific moment in time that we don't need to talk about.
trying to unqueer the X-Men is a task that few try to undertake. What are we talking about? What are we?
I don't know. We're just talking about whatever the fuck we
Yeah,
want.
we're just kind of going.
Yeah.
I think we surpassed our Netflix reboots, and we know the top ones to make now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if we have to choose between Magic School Bus and Yu-Gi-Oh! Camper, I think I know what your vote is, but...
Yeah.
Well, what are you going to green light?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Dan, what would you green light?
I would have to say. I would go with the Magic School Bus. That seems like it could be more of a bus wreck than anything.
It feels too real. Ava, where does your vote lie? Magic School Bus or Yu-Gi-Oh?
It's a tough one. I think we were able to get. I think the problem is that I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh does have a bit of an unfair advantage in that we're able to come up with stuff for it a lot more than the School Bus. Like we came up with we did like a whole cast list and everything.
Yeah, yeah. You guys remember that episode of Mad School Bus where Arnold pulled off his helmet on Pluto and his head froze in a block?
Yeah.
That's the one I remember the best.
Wasn't that fucking
And
crazy? Did they also go inside?
It was pretty crazy, yeah.
You remember that episode of Yu-Gi-Oh where they were playing card games on the dock and whoever lost would get eaten by sharks?
Excuse me?
Yes, I do.
Yu-Gi-Oh is look, Madhouse. Yu-Gi-Oh is wild. Even
God.
even when they were doing normal Yu-Gi-Oh stuff of card games, I say normal Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess I mean more like what Yu-Gi-Oh became. There was still a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, I think the Shadow Realm Buzzsaw is probably my favorite. Where where you get you get ambushed by a magician. He chains both of you to one side or the other, and both of you have these buzzsaws. And as your life points go down, the buzzsaw gets closer to your legs. And if it hits you, it's gonna send you to the Shadow Realm.
Yeah. The Shadow Realm, everybody.
Thanks, 4Kids.
Yeah, thanks, 4Kids.
4Kids is great.
Or how about the time that there was a double duel where if you lost, your skylight shattered and you fell to your death? I mean, into the Shadow Realm, which when the villains lost, they used parachutes to stop from falling into the Shadow Realm.
The Shadow Realm doesn't have a fucking gravitational pull, okay? They can just get out of it.
Remember, I will always remember the Orichalcus season stuff where it's like, yeah, if you lose your soul.
Yeah, you
Like,
just straight die.
Any duel.
Well, I mean, it's a duel where the Seal of Orichalcos gets activated. Technically.
That's like all those duels.
Well, yeah, because it's the theme of the season. But there was, in particular, a duel where Atem was dueling, and the guy he was dueling had the Seal of Orichalcos and was like, I'm not even going to play it. I'm not going to play this card. In fact, I'm going to give it to you. So it's your choice if you activate it. And Atem's like, yeah, fuck you, I'm going to activate it. And Yugi's like, I don't think this is a good idea. And he's like, no, fuck you, I'm going to activate it. So he activates it and then proceeds to lose and Yugi dies. And then that's his motivation for the rest of the season to get Yugi back, because he literally made him lose his soul for no reason.
Okay.
Look, there's enough content here for several seasons of a Netflix show. And it's all bad.
Like, it's hard because they've already remade so many good things edgy. And some of those edgy things are good. Some of them exist.
I find it difficult to list any things that were made edgier, that were made better by that edge.
Alice in Wonderland.
I'm not sure I agree.
Not particularly great.
Like Alice McGee, not Alice McGee.
Wait, what? They did the Hardy Boys? Excuse me, wait, when the fuck did this happen?
I can't wait for the edgy adaptation of the Boxcar Children.
I'm sorry, there is a live action Hardy Boys series.
Great. I mean,
What?
that makes sense. Like, the mystery ones tend to
Huh.
get the treatment.
I did not... Oh, it's on Hulu. I can watch this shit right now.
Actually, I think my opinion on Alice in Wonderland is that it started edgy, then got tempered down, and then went back to edgy.
Yeah, it was a
So
lot.
it's technically the remake was the one that made it less edgy. And then I guess the game came out which super edgified it.
But
and made
Camper, how could you forget your favorite edgy remake of something? Titans.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about Titans.
No. I want you to continue with your statement of not everything made edgy is bad.
No, I'm saying I don't know what was made edgier and better.
Oh, yeah.
I know tons of things have been made edgier and worse.
Yeah.
Titans is definitely up there for things I hate. Like, not even to the point I enjoyed it.
I would think
It's
the Dark Knight trilogy.
I wouldn't. Well, the thing is, like, when it comes to Batman, he started by killing people. He got less edgy as time went on, and then even the Dark Knight isn't really edgy. It's just kind of standard Batman.
I got no fucking lights in the set. That's for goddamn shit.
Well, yeah, the lighting was edgy. In that they were really edging out the budget.
They had the fucking Scamilton guy over there doing the lighting.
But, like, content-wise, the Joker... I mean, up to that point in the comics, the Joker had killed Jason Todd, shot Barbara Gordon through the spine.
Yeah.
Like, Joker's always dark. And I don't think Two-Face got much darker. He'd already been splashed in the face with acid and turned mad. I wouldn't call that an edgy remake.
Good, fair.
I'd call it accurate.
Somehow that Resident Evil Netflix series was edgier than anything. Like,
yeah,
I didn't think it was possible. But
yeah, and again, I would say not good.
Real bad. Real
I know
not good.
it's a hot take.
It was not great.
That's a hot take.
Was not.
I know it's a real hot take to say the Resident Evil series on Netflix was not good.
I still can't believe people enjoyed that. Like, that's wild to me. Like, I guess different strokes for different folks, but also, how can you be so wrong?
There are certain things people shouldn't be brave about, and having an opinion that was a good thing.
We watched the entire Resident Evil series in the course of what I'd say a week or two.
Roundabout, I guess.
Yeah, and it took us about the same amount of time to watch the original Resident Evil live action movies, which were which are also horrible.
Definitely not equally.
Not equally. I would rather watch every single one of those movies back to back to back than have to watch the first episode of that season ever again.
Yeah, honestly, it was shocking to me. Like, I've established I like bad content. I enjoy ingesting it. But we got to, like, episode 3 of that show, and I wasn't sure I was going to keep going.
You had mentally checked out halfway through episode 2. Like,
yeah,
I don't even remember. Someone asked me to, because I'm the one here with the Netflix. Someone asked me to stream it for them. I don't even remember who it was. Was it you, Camper?
It might have been me.
Yeah, because you were tired of opening it up.
Yeah.
You were so physically averse to having to open it up and stream it for us that you had Ava do it instead.
Yeah, that might have been it. It was bad, guys.
It was real bad. Where do we even begin with that one? Like, there's edgy to the point where it's like, this is just silly and hilarious, and there's edgy where it's just like, this is just... Boring isn't the right word. Boring isn't the word. Bad isn't a good enough word. It's not as potent enough to really describe it.
Here's the problem with the Resident Evil thing, is that at least the movies pretended to kind of try and be loyal to the source material.
Yeah.
But in the weirdest way, like, the movies obviously redid source material, right? Like, they reintroduced characters, they had all this stuff happen, but
in a
instead
way that
Alice
was a little bit creative. It was stupid, but it was creative in a way.
Yeah, but they were going through, like, redoing the old content. And yet, somehow, the Netflix show that literally happens after the games and references the game's events as things that have happened was less loyal to the subject material.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
How do you do that?
There are at least one good thing every 3 episodes. Now, yes, there are 8 episodes, but but like the fucking whatever episode, I think it was the 2nd or the 3rd, where Lance Reddick, amazing actor, wonderful
Fantastic.
dude, loved him.
Best part of
he
that
was
series.
Honestly, he was the best part. Like, he was captivating on the screen, especially when he started playing multiple people.
Yeah, all 5 of him were the best part of that series.
Did it make any sense? No, but god damn it, did he work his ass off in that role? Like, his role was stupid, it made no sense, it was fucking insignificant, but he played that shit to a T. But his monologue where Billy's getting bullied and the Jade gets in disguise and beats the bully up, and Billy gets blamed for it, and they're in the office, and the other girl's dad is yelling at Billy and the principal, and it's like, "Where's the blah blah blah? I'm so mad, I'm an angry dad." And also saying like, "Oh, stuff. Everyone's a snowflake and needs a trophy and a safe space." I'm like, where? Yeah. What?
Yeah, completely out of context, right-wing talking points.
There was no reason for it to be said. Because they're like, listen, we're investigating it, we're gonna talk about suspension. He's like, oh, I see what it is. Everyone here is a snowflake and needs a trophy. And the principal's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then Lance Reddick, as Albert Wesker, walks in, and he's like, okay, what's scenario, blah, blah. He's like, oh, okay, so he's like, Billy, did you beat her up? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, I believe you, you're my daughter. And the other guy's like, oh shit, this is Albert fucking Wesker, let me calm the fuck down. And he's like, I heard you yelling at my child a few minutes ago. And then he asks him, he says, how many people can do your job? And he's like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm an IT guy. He's like, how many people can do your job? Probably 1,000 in this community, around the world, millions. You know how many people can do my job? Just me. And that was like, oh, it was a very well written scene, and it was the only well written scene in that entire show.
Excuse me, man, what are you talking about? There's at least one other very well written scene.
The breadsticks?
No, so that is up there too.
There are at least two other well written scenes.
Yeah, I was talking about how, that lovely sisterly moment where Jade is psyching up Billy and telling her she has a great ass.
You have a 1950 on the SAT and a great ass.
Twin sister.
Camper, I thought you were gonna say the best part is when what was it, Evelyn? Is mind controlled by the electrodes or whatever, and Billy's like marionetting her around with the fucking iPad, and she's over here singing fucking Dua Lipa. Did I pull the 180? Crazy. And we were watching it, and it was late because it was after such. It was about like 11 midnight my time, and that scene came on, and like I think I had asked someone to stop it because I was like, I think I'm hallucinating right now, and I need to double check. Yeah. Because my schizophrenic ass was just like, there's no way in hell that this is happening right now. I must be tripping, and everyone else like, nope, this is happening. Like, wow, I wish I was hallucinating.
I can't believe that show gaslighted you.
I'm gonna sue.
And it just gets no, actually, you know what? The scene that confused me the most was it confused me in retrospect. It's like fridge confusion. Where they talk, like Billy and Jade are talking, and they're in the future / the present, whatever. I don't give a fuck. And they're talking as like, remember, like, oh, what about Bert? And he's like, oh yeah, when he died, it's like, oh, I'm already sad because Bert's the best part about the past.
Yeah, great.
And then she's like, how our father was a psychopath. And then it turns out their father fucking died saving them. Like, he wasn't the crazy Wesker. He was literally just a good guy.
He was one of the most sane of the Weskers.
Everything he did was to keep them safe. Like, my father was evil. And they're like,
and it's like, meanwhile, they're like, yeah, we love Bert.
He can't be what he made us to be. He made you to just exist.
And they're like, oh, we love Bert though. Bert is literally in front of them, murdering the shit out of people and laughing about breadsticks, and he's like fucking slaughtering people. He's a walking tank.
He's kind of a psychopath, but he cared about them.
Yeah, but Bert actually cared about us, unlike Albert,
who gave us life and then proceeded to give us as much freedom as he possibly could.
Like, he's using our blood so we can stay alive and keep taking care of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, if he wanted to, he could just have you guys tied up and take it whatever he wants and shit.
Yeah,
like,
literally just keep you comatose. That's absolutely a choice he had.
He could have left you as a petri dish, you dumbass.
And he could have made one of you. He decided to make two of you to
So that
give
you
you a
have
sibling.
friends.
Like, Jesus Christ. He put so much work into this,
Like,
and then gave his
Albert
life.
went above and beyond, honestly.
And then literally sacrificed his life to take out the people chasing you, giving you a chance to escape. And then, like, 20 years later, you have the audacity to sit here and be like, he was a psychopath, I hate him.
It's like,
Fuck
for
you.
what? All he did was care for me and give to me. And the thing is, they show up. The first scene in the movie is with the Wesker family. They are just being so I mean, Billy's there just existing, whatever. But Jade is being so antagonistic towards Albert. And there's no context for it other than like, oh yeah, we just moved here. And it's like, okay, I can get oh, we just moved. We have a teenager who's like a little rebellious and a little snappy. But she's like saying like, oh yeah, I'm gonna watch Zootopia porn to the fucking realtor and like cussing out her dad and like, I'm like, what the who? What?
You madhouse. She wasn't gonna watch Zootopia porn. She was gonna read Zootopia.
Oh yeah, read Zootopia porn. That's right.
It's very important. It's erotica, not porn. I just, like, and the worst part is that Jade was meant to be a protagonist. There was not a single episode I didn't hate her fucking guts.
Every episode we were watching, we were all on the edge of our seats praying that she would die.
Yeah.
We got to the final episode and she got so fucking close. Oh, we were so happy. We were fucking cheering basically at the point that she was about to die, and then she got back up.
Yeah, she got shot in the face, basically. She got shot in the chest. But
from point blank range.
And there was nothing stopping the villain from taking her out. They decided to just leave.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fucking Billy Wesker, I should have been the protagonist.
Yeah,
and
Billy Wesker was overall a much more likable, and while dumb and stupid as fuck, understandable character.
Even as a villain, I wanted her to win.
Because I meant Jade would die.
Yeah.
Like, Billy Wesker made sense. Like, she's like, oh, she's a vegan, and she sees animals getting experimented on. She's gonna go down here and try to liberate the animals and get bitten. Like, okay, that makes sense for the character that we have established. Jade, as a character, never really makes... There's nothing motivating Jade. There's nothing there. She's just there. She just exists.
Remember that time that Jade, having gone through 3/4 of the series, is on the boat with all these people they're completely safe, and then she proceeds to bring a zombie aboard and get her best friend killed, who then leaves her family to die?
And it's like, Jade, why would you do this? And it's like, because there could be a pheromone that we could use to hide from the zombies. It's like, Jade, we're on a fucking boat. We don't need to hide from shit.
Yeah, but, like, I can see the benefits of that, but you know what you do? You tell people.
You tell people. She did it all in secret.
What you don't do is strap this zombie down with straps that they can break, and then put your kid in front of them.
And the thing is, no one had ever told her no. No one said, Jade, you can't do that. That's crazy. She wasn't rebelling. She just did it without telling anybody.
Yeah, literally, she took the concept of ask forgiveness rather than permission and rolled with it.
Way too hard. She hit fucking 90 on it.
Yeah, and then she had to ask for permission from someone whose family she just destroyed with her actions.
Yeah. Honestly, the feature segments had
unbearable.
one good person.
Yeah, not Zach Galifianakis.
I don't remember his name,
I can't
which
either.
makes me
but
feel
he looked
bad.
like Zach Galifianakis, but he was not. He was an understandable villain because it felt like me up there.
Yeah,
I could see myself in him.
I can't remember if he was Irish
Because
or
he was
Welsh.
just kind of dicking around, or what?
Because he was like, oh yeah, I'm into my villain monologue, and then when the gun started shooting, he like fell down the stairs, like he stumbled. And then later on, he's like being a total badass.
Yeah, I like the bit where I don't even remember his name. I think it also started with a J.
It was like
or something like
Bernard or something like.
Yeah, but like they were like stuck in a cage, and she's like, why are you working for Umbrella?" And he's like, "You don't understand. I have loved ones back home that I need to take care of." And then he takes out his wallet and he shows her a picture of two corgis.
It's just two fucking corgis. And it's like, yeah, this guy's great. His name was Richard Baxter.
Oh, yeah.
So
Baxter.
Baxter, yeah.
And he was like a character that's like, okay, this is cool. It's like kind of like they were enemies, but now they have to be allies and they got to travel through the thing, and then he dies immediately in the same episode that he like we start learning more about him.
But here's the thing, Madhouse, we knew that was going to happen because every single episode, Jade would encounter someone, make friends with them, and then they would die.
They would die that same episode. There was a whole
No
family.
Like, do you remember the name of the guy in the Jeep who was helping her escape in, like, the second episode?
Oh, yeah, the random black guy who was like, oh, yeah, he's the last of the mercenaries. He's like, okay, get in. And he's like, just hang on and we'll drive. And then he got to, like, a stopping place, like, okay, what the fuck? Why are these people after you? Because I'm just a hired gun. And then he gets killed.
Yeah, like, I thought that was supposed to be an important character, and then he bit it.
Yeah, because I'm like, every time they pair someone with Jay, it's like, okay, this is going to be like an unlikely duo scenario. They kill him. It's like, why did you even have them?
Yeah, or remember that one family that she encountered who the father sacrificed himself so the kid could get away, but the sacrifice was pointless because he ran off, got eaten, and they didn't run until the thing was running back after them.
Yeah.
And then it turned out the kid was bitten anyway, and then the fucking mother stayed behind, so she just was dead by the end of the episode.
Yeah. God, it was just real bad.
Also, the old woman who was keeping her weird zombified husband in the bathroom. Like, you encounter all these characters that are just gone.
She killed this, like, sedated zombie, and she's like, you're fucked, lady. She's like, that was my husband, I'm still mourning. And she's like, fuck you. And she's like, Jade, why? And she was just so mean to everyone.
Yeah.
That series fucking sucked. I would easily, if someone held a gun to my head and said choose one, I'm watching the fucking the stupid 7 movie series.
It was only 6.
It felt like 19.
God, but like it was. They were bad,
but they were stimulating.
even at their worst, where it was barely bad enough to be enjoyable, there was still something.
Every time we say that those movies are bad, all I can think about is the scene from the second to last movie where they're like walking to the White House and they're like, "Who's the president?" and the chair spins around. And it's
the chair doesn't even spin around.
They don't superimposed on the chair.
It doesn't even spin around. they just walk past a pillar, and as it moves across, it reveals Wesker sitting in the Oval Office. And the greatest thing is, it's not CGI. He's actually there.
He's actually there. It looks like it's green
screen. For some reason, he looks like he's a cardboard cutout.
It's such a bizarre image to see that your brain won't register as anything but green screen, but it's definitely not.
We actually have the image of Wesker sitting in the chair as an emoji on our Discord.
It's perfect. It's amazing.
It was too good. It was too good not to.
Like, we saw, because I remember that scene, and I was like, "Oh, guys, get ready!" And I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then it shows, and it's just fucking chaos. Oh, it's so good.
Oh god.
I think my favorite part about that movie series is that they introduce all these notable characters, and then they're all at the end of the second to last movie, and then the opening of the last movie is like, everyone's dead.
Yeah.
All these characters you knew and loved from the games,
except for Claire Redfield. She's the only one who lived.
Yeah.
Everyone except for Claire and Alice are dead, and Claire's Dolph being so that.
And then Alice dies, but then she comes back.
Yeah.
I wish she didn't.
It would have been more of an impact if she just died.
The thing, like, there were so many times in those movies where she would just be naked for no reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
I remember we were watching the fucking, I don't know, 4th, 5th one, where they're in a prison, I believe, and they're fighting this big nemesis with a hammer and a bag on his head and nails and shit. And he's got this big ass axe hammer that he's
is this when they're fighting him in like the shower room?
Claire manages to kill him and whatnot. And then Ava says, "I can't wait for him to get back up so Alice can kill him." And immediately the thing gets back up. And Alice pulls out these sawn off shotguns with quarters in them and blows its brains out and kills it officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh wow, look, they let someone who isn't Alice do something. So I assume it's gonna get taken away immediately.
And it did.
And it was.
You're right.
It was.
I think the first movie of the Resident Evil movie franchise was one of the best because it wasn't tied to anything. There was no anchoring really. It was interesting. It was like a typical zombie film. Without the zombies though. There weren't really a lot of zombies after like the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Also,
I'm pretty fun.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that maybe I'm just imagining it or something, but I feel like they're like, oh, the laser hallway scene was so iconic. Let's do it like 3 more times.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like they kept coming back to that hallway.
Umbrella in the Netflix series love their little fucking hexagon, octagon, or the fuck. In the movies, they love those laser hallways.
I mean, that's just Umbrella in general.
Remember, we played a game of find the fucking Umbrella logo hidden in everything. It was in the lights.
Yeah.
It was in the lamps. It was in the billboards. It was in the bottom of people's shoes. It was on fucking hubcaps.
Literally the entire town.
It was
the
whole town was in the
entire
shape of the
town.
Umbrella logo. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Didn't they have like drugs that were the shape of umbrellas
Yes,
too?
they did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Like, come on. Come on, guys.
Like, they just couldn't stop. They couldn't fucking help themselves. They're like, branding, it's important.
It was also really inefficient. Like, they had an umbrella-shaped container for some of the animals. It's like, what? There is no way.
What is the... How is this more efficient than anything else?
It's an octagon. It's not efficient at all.
What are you gonna stack this on, assholes?
It's literally, like, they would stack them all together, and there's all this wasted space. It's like, well, no wonder the animals are pissed.
At least make
like,
a fucking hexagon like a bee or something, Jesus.
Yeah, like, this is just so bad. You know, say what you will about the Resident Evil movies, but at least they, like, the laser hallway from the first movie showed up in Resident Evil 4 because it was so, like, pervasive in culture as a result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing from the Netflix Resident Evil show had better survived it.
Camper, are you forgetting, hold on, let me think.
Remember, she throws the grenade and it lands vaguely near a giant crocodile, and the giant crocodile explodes and flies off the cliff and falls
then hits
down.
a helicopter.
It's a helicopter.
Yeah.
And then lands in the water.
Yeah, just so, I say everyone, just so you know, Nosik. The jokes I was making as Billy fucking Wesker in the Zomboid server literally all got pulled from the Netflix show.
And it wasn't an exaggeration, there was no hyperbole, it was all direct things.
Yeah, everything I said I did as Billy Wesker, she did in the show, and it was awful.
I'm gonna Voltron and I'm gonna kill that town.
It's so bad.
Oh, it's awful. The fact that she blew up this alligator and took out a helicopter, like
in one swing of her elbow.
Yeah, you would think it would be something like, oh, she threw up a crocodile, a giant alligator, and she took out a helicopter. It's like, no, you mishear me. She blew up an alligator, taking out a helicopter.
She fucking Rule Goldberg to this helicopter to the ground.
Yeah.
Like, she took this shit down completely, like, in one smooth swing with nothing related to her superpowers.
It was just...
Also, she had superpowers.
Oh, yeah, also she had zombie superpowers from being I don't fucking know.
I want no. She never even really used.
She never used them.
Her main weapon at the end of the series wasn't...
She had technology.
She had gun drones that she was using. That was it.
Her power was an iPad. She was a fucking beacon or a brain. Like,
yeah,
she wasn't using her T-virus superpowers that she had. We know she had.
Yeah.
It was literally like she was infected with the T-virus and like empowered and everything, but she was using guns and drones, and so the balance groans and grenades. Like, nothing she did was necessary in terms of, like, the enhancements or whatever.
The series was building up this whole thing of, like, oh, she's gonna turn and start the infection. and that never really comes to pass. Like the infection, we never see the infection get out and spread through. We never see an outbreak in the actual community.
The outbreak, I have to assume, is like the yes, it is very much like a fanfic OC.
It's like a fanfic OC.
To the point that, like, honestly, on the same level as Alice in fanfic OC-ness.
Yeah. I also love that you said, what am I talking about, everyone? Nozick. And then Nozick pops in.
I checked to make sure that he was here. No, but it's ridiculous.
I want you to know.
Yeah.
Nothing in that show was what did you say? Necessary? Relevant?
Yeah, both.
You could have just started with nothing at that show and just had ... after it.
That show is nothing.
Not anymore, it's not.
Well, okay,
that show.
What I was saying is
the
outbreak has to have been caused because there was that big lab explosion, and then, like, the Nemesis tyrant, or whatever, is waking up, right? And I have to assume that's what happens. It breaks out, it infects everyone, then they spread across the planet, whatever. But none of that is Billy. It's literally just... that thing was already there.
Yeah. Do you think the second season would have been the actual outbreak of the community?
Yeah, well, the thing is, they were leaving, weren't they? Like...
Yeah, they were leaving, so we don't even get to see the fucking all the shit set up.
They left with Bert.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left with Bert to get more breadsticks and escape the fucking compound.
You know what? There was one other good scene I can think of. And it is when Billy reads Jade to fucking filth.
Yeah.
When she says, isn't it... Because Billy at this point has been tracking Jade because she's secretly the villain and whatnot. And Billy's like, isn't it funny how everyone around you dies? And have you not noticed there's a correlation there? And then she says, it's your fault, Jade. You get all those people killed. You put them in those situations, you sacrifice them, you sometimes shoot them with your own hands, or you leave them behind, or you do something else that leads to their death. It is always your fault. And she reads the fuck out of Jade, and everything that she says is 100% fact. And Jade is just like, no, you're crazy. It's like, no, bitch, you're crazy.
Yeah, I assume that we're supposed to be on Jade's side in that argument.
And I don't know how you could. How?
And Jade has this moment where it's like, yeah, I used to believe that, but I don't anymore. I've learned. It's like, bitch, you learned backwards.
You regressed. You didn't learn shit, you dumbass. Because it's like, if you learned, you would know that Billy's telling you the truth. It's like, I used to believe that. It's like, oh, so you're aware that you do get people killed all the time. That's great. So you purposely do it now.
She listened to Yoda when he said, you must unlearn what you have learned, but then she forgot to relearn things.
It's like, oh, I have to pick it back up? No, I chose not to do that part.
Yeah, she just emptied out space on her hard drive and left it there.
But yeah, it's one of the best scenes in it, because we were all like sitting here watching like, yes, read that bitch, fuck her up. And like, Billy is completely in the right. Everything that she says is 100% true from everything that we've seen in the series so far. And it's just like, the Jade's like, no, not anymore. It's like, Jade, 8 people just died on that boat because of you.
Yeah, literally all her fault.
Before we got to this scene where you're having this conversation. Like,
and she can try and blame, like, Umbrella and stuff, because they show up after the fact, but literally every death in those scenes could be attributed directly to Jade's actions and nothing else.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense.
Like, there's her one friend, the one guy who's Evelyn's son, and he dies because she ropes him into all this shit and uses his hacking skills, and then he gets bit by a zombie or a dog or something, and his mom kills him.
Isn't it Billy bites him or something?
Oh, does Billy? I can't fucking remember.
I think like Billy's like having a breakdown, and he tries to calm her down. She
Simon,
bites him. And,
yeah, she bites Simon.
Yeah. And honestly, even halfway through the show, I thought that he was supposed to be her husband in the future.
Yeah, and we were like, he's kind of too light to be this dark-skinned man in the future.
Well, yeah, but my argument was, do you think they care?
Because Billy Wesker was played by the actress. The actresses look nothing alike. Jade was a little bit more believable. It was a great casting decision in that part, where the child version, the adult version look very similar. With
Yeah,
Billy, not
Older
so
Billy
much.
got way more Asian.
Yeah, well, because Netflix doesn't hire Asian people, so
Yeah, there are only so many.
yeah, they're like, listen, we got Scarlett Johansson and the Billy Wesker girl. That's about it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, oh God, it was so fucking bad. Um, yeah, yeah. Now into Fate the Winx saga.
Oh God.
Oh God, that. Now that one, we can't say as much about it, but we will, because me and Ava only watched the first episode of it. I know Cash tried to watch it, and me and Ava told Cash, we're like, "Don't do it, Cash. It's not good. It's not going to be good." And this is before we even seen it. And Cash was like, "But I mean, it's edgy and it's darker." And Cash is like, "Yeah, I generally like that kind of stuff." And then he watched it, and then about an hour later, he texted Chad. He was like, "Yeah, this was bad. I don't want to do this anymore."
Yeah, I didn't even touch it because I'm not as big into Winx
Yeah.
as you guys are.
Winx is a great show, but it is definitely like a kind of like you kind of gotta like really be into what's going on to really actually want to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing with the Netflix and the edgy reboots is that a lot of the things Fate the Winx Saga, Death Note, Resident Evil, the other 50 million that they've already made or will make at some point in the near future, is that it's never, and this speaks to the industry as a whole and what's bad about it, is that it's like fanfic OC because what you have is you have a writer who wants to make a story and they want to make an original story, and sometimes the stories are really good, sometimes they're really bad, blah blah blah, but a studio will not pick them up. An industry will not pick them up because there is no built-in audience. There's no guarantee that this will be a success. And so that writer then has to propose, oh, well, this isn't my original content. This is a Resident Evil thing. And people love Resident Evil, so they're going to come see it. And Netflix is like, yes, that is true. Make it. And the thing is, you could take all the characters in that show and completely change it. Completely change all their names, and it would feel like anything else. Honestly, naming it Resident Evil did more of a disservice to it. And the same thing with Fate the Winx Saga. It's so far removed from what the Winx Club actually is, where it's this weird futuristic space adventure where every girl is from a different planet. They all go to school in this magical dimension and whatnot. And in the Netflix show, they're all like going to fucking Hogwarts, basically. And that's it. They don't even have wings. And it sucks. And it feels like every other like modern high fantasy kind of teen tropey thing.
Yeah, if you want any evidence of this, they don't even call zombies
Ugh.
in the Resident Evil show. They call them zeros.
They call them zeros, which speaks to the fact that this was supposed to be original property, but they had to name it Resident Evil so they could actually greenlight it.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks because then you get shitty properties out of beloved like titles. When it's like, this could have been someone else's independent shitty story. And
yeah, I think I said it when we were watching it, but I want nothing more than just a one-to-one recreation of the games, because I think that at least the first, second, and maybe third games would make for really good shows or movies. If you just played them out like obviously streamline them a bit to be viewable instead of having someone run back and forth in a hall because they don't know where the red gem goes. But you know what I mean. Like they are prime for genuinely good movies, and they keep getting remade with these weird custom OC characters who've got to be the best ever, and then suck.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to live in a universe where what would happen if a lot of these remakes were just made as they were intended as independent properties, and just to see like, do they hold up any better by not trying to be something that they were never meant to be.
Yeah, I don't think they.
Resident Evil probably not. That show was just bad writing. It was doomed from the start. The Resident Evil title just made it even worse. Fate the Winx Saga. I'm sure people could get behind it if it wasn't the Winx. It would probably be an okay show, but because it's the Winx, it creates a certain expectation and it just doesn't fit it. With Death Note, nope, that one was also pretty horrible. No,
that was pretty
really bad. What's another one that they remade that was edgy as fuck? The Magic School Bus. That one would be a success no matter what.
Yeah.
We made it.
Well, the thing is, because our concepts of the remakes are still, like, they heavily take into account the source material.
It's intentional.
Yeah, and are, like, actively playing with it, or, like, averting the expectations, but in a way that a fan would enjoy.
Yeah.
But there are so many of these, like, edgy Netflix remakes, or any kind of edgy remake, really, where they couldn't give less of a shit about the source material, except for the money it can bring in.
Yeah. The
They're not
only
there for that.
reason that it's the same reason why, like, so much of movies and TV shows and all that stuff are, like, remakes or adaptations or whatever. It's because, like, or sequels or any of that shit, is because they already have in their minds, like, an established fan base.
Yeah.
They don't
And thus
need
it's
to do as
guaranteed
much
money.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're allergic to original IPs because there's
doesn't
no
need to be
guarantees.
good. It just needs to be seen.
Yeah.
Which sucks. And it's horrible. Which is why when you have sudden breakouts that are just really good out of nowhere, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, no, that movie is
was-
amazing.
Yeah. And it was unlike anything that was really coming. I mean, other than Multiverse of Madness, which it kind of trumped, obviously, at the end of the day. As much as I do like that movie, it ran fucking circles around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like you get those rare instances where like someone is able to make an original property, and it's just like, wow, this is amazing. Why can't there be more like this? And it's like, well, it's nice to want things.
I mean, the thing is, like, an original IP like that is obviously a risk, right? It's way more risky, and a lot of studios, they might try a new IP once every 5-6 years, and then if it doesn't work out, they're like, okay, well, back to the old treadmill, getting a new MCU movie out, gotta get a new Star Wars out, gotta get, I don't fucking know, a new Transformers is coming out now.
And this is all coming from people who love, like, Camper loves Star Wars. We love Marvel here.
Yeah, we're huge fans. But, like, the problem is, when you're a fan of content, and it comes out and is clearly just, like, mass-produced schlock in an attempt to get money, and...
Yeah.
Like, okay, for reference, I think I'm probably the biggest DC fan in this chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, when I heard that the DC... Like, they were making a DC cinematic universe inspired by the MCU, effectively. They didn't say it, but everyone knows.
Yeah.
They wanted to get in on that
competition.
cinematic universe cash. It's like, okay, you know what? That's fine, because the MCU's been putting out some pretty good stuff, and I would love to see more DC movies, start seeing, like, some of the more obscure characters. That's great. And as a DC fan, in the same way that a lot of Marvel fans were really psyched when Civil War came out, right?
Yeah.
Like, Civil War was huge. And and you know, it's not exactly like the comic, obviously. They don't have all those characters.
It was a phenomenal movie. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Still a fantastic movie, and still really loyal to the source material in a lot of different ways. And even though they had to change things, they changed things that fit the MCU's changes.
And they changed a lot of things last minute too, which was like a big risk, and it turned out really well. And I think it felt like kind of like a classical thing where it's like the director, the writing team just leaped and hoped for the best.
And you know what? As a comics fan in general, I was still satisfied with what they did with Civil War. I think there was plenty of build up. You really got to know the characters, so there was a lot of weight behind all of these actions. Great. And as a DC fan, one of the big stories that when you comes to the big name DC heroes is the death of Superman.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that is a huge storyline, and it has so much impact all the way down the line for everyone in the Justice League, a ton of people outside of it. And so, as someone who has seen the MCU Civil War, I don't expect a one-to-one comparison, obviously.
But
what I do expect is that the death of Superman doesn't happen 2 movies in, when you have in the same movie that you introduce Batman, you introduce Wonder Woman, you introduce Apocalypse, you're basically just seeing Superman for the second time.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no weight.
Yeah, they're just introducing all these characters, so you have no time to doesn't get to know any of these people. They're introducing Batman after, like, post-Robin death, essentially Dark Knight Returns era, which is, like, after all the Batman stuff that you want to learn about.
Yeah.
It's such a weird play and a complete waste of a storyline.
They essentially started building the house with the roof.
Yeah, like they jumped
Yeah.
in at the MCU. It's like if the
They
MCU
need to
did
build the
Civil
fucking
War
foundational
Captain
stuff.
America.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like MCU did Captain America and then Iron Man and then Civil War and introduced all these new characters.
And then went back and said, okay, Thor now, then we'll do Ant-Man. It's like, what? Who are these people?
Well, I mean, was there a DC movie in the DCU? I don't know how many. I don't know what the fuck it's actually called. Was there a movie between Man of Steel and Beavis?
No, I don't think so. I think it was
Yeah.
Man of Steel. Man of Steel
Mhm.
2, maybe. But again,
There
it's
was not a. See, I don't think there was a Man of Steel 2.
So this was the order of them. I have it right here. Oh, God. Oh. I just remembered how many bad movies were on this list. Okay. So we have, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice,
So no.
Suicide
No.
Squad, Wonder Woman, Justice League, Aquaman, Shazam, Birds of Prey. There's more. The list is loading. Oh God, it's really bad.
Okay, let's construct an equivalent of like what the NCU release order would be if it was following this pattern.
Okay.
Okay.
So Captain
have
America is integral.
Iron Man as our first thing, I would say.
Yeah, they would still do Iron Man first. They would do Captain America next.
I mean, but no, Madhouse, they wouldn't.
No.
Because they didn't do Man of Steel and then
Oh.
Batman and then Batman versus Superman.
They would do Captain America, then they would do Civil War, then they would do Guardians of the Galaxy or some shit. They would jump over to do Thor, then they would do Avengers, then they would do Black Panther, and then after that, throw in Miss Marvel, who knows? Yeah, it'd be a
And then
mess. It'd be a fucking mess. It's hard to even fathom because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Somewhere
It's like
post-death they do
they
it.
have like the thing with the MCU is that like they built up to things. It was like a progressive, like you have this and then you have this and then you have this, and like they kind of built the universe. It's like what you said. It's like no, it's fucking like DC building the house by starting with the roof thing. They just wanted to jump in and say like, all right, we're into the universe. It's already there.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar with how we run our mass campaign, where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we've had this. Well, I've been running this game for it was 3 years prior, 2.5 years ish, and so we had a very well fleshed out universe. The city was like pretty established and whatnot. And so when we were gonna start streaming, I was like, okay, we got to reset the whole thing, because if we stream it and an audience is watching, none of this is gonna make any sense. There's so many inside jokes. There's so much shit already built in. We just have to restart from the basics, and we restart from the absolute basics, where we have a whole new city. And as we go from session by session, we are kind of developing a new concept, a new idea, a new way that something functions or works.
Yeah. New foundations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, we couldn't just jump in and say like, okay, here we are in Halcyon City, and X character is running this community center because that's what they've been doing for 30 years and whatnot. It's just like, no, you gotta say like, okay, Pyrite, you are familiar with this because it was existing back in the 60s, and now we know that it's still here today. Like, you can't just throw something, like,
Yeah.
time makes sense. You can't just do shit to it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my disappointment as a fan comes in when it's like they dump their load on this giant storyline that's really impressive in the comics, and now obviously you can't do it again. You pulled the trigger on this thing, you can't unpull the trigger.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can go back and establish all these characters. You can have an Aquaman movie, you can have a Wonder Woman movie, sure, but you're never gonna get Death of Superman again.
Yeah.
We might now that they're resetting the universe again. But
They are?
yeah,
Damn.
they're
No.
redoing it.
Oh my god.
Maybe they'll do
But-
it right. Maybe they'll do it right. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is like they had an opportunity to do it right the first time, and now instead everyone who's like knows about the DCEU, which is I think the acronym for it. I don't know
Yeah,
what the
the
E stands
DCEU.
for, but
The Detective Comics Ethernet
Yeah.
universe.
but like now when I talk to people about this, no one wants to watch the new DC movies.
Oh, that's what it's.
What is it?
The DC extended universe.
Yeah, okay.
It doesn't.
sure.
It doesn't. Why didn't they just say the DC
I
universe?
mean-
The DCU. I mean, it gets sounds
Well-
like MCU.
DCC.
I think, and it's also a thing of, and they couldn't do like the DC Cinematic Universe because then it'd be the DCCU.
Yeah.
The Dooku, the Dark
The
Universe
Dark
Cinematic Universe.
Cinematic
We
Universe.
could have done DCMU or something, DC Movie Universe or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like my point is, once you ring the bell in these huge storylines, they're done. It's like, can you imagine if they did DC Blackest Night before they introduced a Green Lantern?
Oh my god.
You know how crazy that would be? But that's what it feels like as
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
DC fan watching a Death of Superman Apocalypse and Batman versus Superman movie. It's like you've essentially thrown 3 storylines away.
What it confused me with is like, at that point, like, who is it made for? Because it's like, okay, it's made for comic fans, but it's like, it's nothing coherent that a comic fan would understand. It's like, okay, it's made for general audiences, but you keep referencing things that only comic fans would know, so what would a general audience even take from it? So it's like, who is
Yeah.
it for? Who is it for?
It's for the shareholders.
Fair.
Like they're literally just picking the names and characters that people like and like throw them all in a movie. It worked for Avengers. It's like, yeah, it worked for Avengers because they established a fan base outside of the comics.
They took years to put it together.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just really bad. As a DC fan, I hate the DC movies because they're essentially wasted potential.
Should we talk about the streaming shows?
No.
Like,
DC
I love the
streaming
sourness
shows?
from that.
The DC streaming shows?
Yeah,
or
there are
what?
some good streaming shows on DC. Like, I know, I haven't watched it myself because I don't care to engage with DC because it's disappointing. It's just sad to watch sometimes, because I want them to do better. I want more, and I'm never gonna get it.
Yeah.
But maybe not the rebooting universe. Who knows? But I know, what was it? The fucking with Crazy Jane, Robot Man,
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol.
Patrol.
Yes, thank you. Like Doom
Yeah,
Patrol,
Doom-
people love Doom Patrol, and it was pretty good. It's hilarious. It was great.
Yeah, it's still going.
It's still going. Yeah.
Oh wow.
That's the only show that I really know that's really good.
There is another show that was apparently very good.
What?
Swamp Thing, which
Oh.
then got cancelled 3
Yeah.
episodes in.
Yeah.
There was a
that's true.
Swamp Thing
There was
show?
a Swamp Thing show
Yeah,
that got
a
canceled
very,
almost
very,
immediately.
very short one because they cancelled it before it even finished airing.
Yeah.
As a child,
And it was
I
another
had a Swamp Thing, like, I guess it was like a collected thing. It was just like a lot of Swamp Thing stuff. I didn't know it was a DC thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's the Harley Quinn animated
pretty-
series is doing very well and it's very entertaining.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's part of the thing of like, but are these things in the DCU?
They're part of the DCEU extended universe.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, the problem is when you have 2 vowels next to each other like that, it doesn't work too well.
Yeah, someone should
the-
tell them about that part too.
Which, again,
DCU.
lack of foresight on that
They
one.
really got to start thinking this shit out. But yeah, the
It's-
DC universe has so many interesting characters and character dynamics. One of my personal favorites is the dynamic of Green Arrow and Green Lantern, where they are just like political enemies and they sometimes fucking hate each other because they cannot
Oh.
see eye to eye.
I'm sorry, I have to go into this.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm instantly reminded of something that pissed me the fuck off.
No.
Yeah.
Camper. Wait.
So okay.
Oh, no.
Going on.
So, FYI to everyone out there, like the CW was the most prolific DC channel for a
It
long
was
time.
the DCEU for a while.
They
The
started.
CW did. I mean, I was only watching it up until they did Crisis, which and then after that I didn't watch any of the stuff that happened afterwards. But they seem to have something of a cinematic universe
Made by somebody
for
who
the
cares.
Yeah, well, okay. So, for context, for everyone who doesn't know, they started with Arrow, and then they kind of did like a sneaky pilot for the Flash, because they integrated Barry Allen into that, who was a breath of fresh air, and in fact that stayed true. Every time the Flash showed up on Arrow, everything just got way better.
Yeah.
Because he was light and jovial. And in fact, it was also true when he was on Arrow, he was just a better character himself, because he was light and jovial and was like the counterpoint to the darkness instead of being weird and dark and emo.
Batman with arrows.
Yeah, well, but then, yeah, so it developed into the Flash, and then way more shows started developing. You had Black Lightning show up, you had Supergirl, you had Stargirl, which just finished recently, which by my accounts is like cheesy, but still really good.
Yeah.
And at least in the first season, I never watched after the first season, because there were just too many shows, like Legends of Tomorrow. Way too much.
Starting a little crazy.
Legends of Tomorrow was fun after they stopped taking themselves seriously.
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow, really good. Stargirl, like the choreography in the first season, fantastic. I don't know if anyone else has seen this, but one, I just like staff fighting, but two, just like every character seemed to know what they were doing. All of the Superman and Lois show, apparently like as cinematic Marvel, first season was fantastic. I haven't seen anything after that. But that's what I mean. CW has so many DC shows, or it did before they all started getting cancelled. But here's the thing. They effectively had this huge crossover universe. All these characters would interact with each other in crossovers, whether it was episodes or big specials where they'd all join up. They did Crisis on Infinite Earths, but they worked on that for for years to earn it.
Yeah,
They put the work and they set the foundations.
They spent multiple seasons building up to Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's a reason I was sticking around to see it happen.
Yeah, they had Crisis on Earth X, which was Nazi versions, but that only mattered if you cared about the characters that were getting Nazified. And then, like, a big name character died in that special, which you wouldn't know if you only watched, like, one show. But that's how the comics feel. They built up all this shit, and which is why it pissed me off so much when they were doing another build-up across every show. They had this character, John Diggle, who showed up first in Arrow. He was John Diggle.
I'm sorry, this is funny.
Yeah. He showed up in Arrow as like a bodyguard, but he became like a big mainstay for all the series. He was kind of like the straight man, and they were dropping references for years that he was basically meant to be Jon Stewart. That his family name was Stewart, but he changed it.
Then there put him in green. Like, come on.
They put him in green lights. They had in a couple of the Crisis things, like Jay Garrick showed up and it was like, John, you're not wearing your ring. Like, he was obviously Jon Stewart. And then, recently, they had a storyline where, at the end of Arrow, in the finale, this thing flies out of the sky, crashes, and he opens up this box and there's a green light inside. And you're like, it's finally fucking happening. It's finally happening. So then, for the next for the next year, he shows up in every remaining DC show, and he's talking to all these people. He's like, this thing happened to me, and it's this responsibility that I'm not sure I'm ready for. And everyone's like, no, John, trust yourself. And there are some people giving him advice like, maybe you should turn it down if you don't feel like it's right for you. And then there are other people like, you've never turned down a call to heroism before. Why would you start now? And you have all these moments, and then it finals out in, I think, a Supergirl episode. It's either a Supergirl episode or a Flash episode, where he's like, he holds this box in front of him and he's like, no, and then it disappears.
What?
They don't do it. They don't do it. He doesn't become a Green Lantern.
Why?
And in fact, like the reason that I've heard is that they were trying to get him to become a Green Lantern, and everyone at DC was like, no.
The corporate stuff. Oh my god.
Yeah, it got corporatized out.
And he's a fantastic casting for Jon Stewart as well. I mean,
yeah,
he's a little on the lighter side, but I can still see it. Like it's fair.
Yeah, as an actor, I think he did his role very well, and I think he would be amazing as Jon Stewart Green Lantern. And like the thing is, they had references to Hal Jordan in the past. They've referenced like an accident with a flight sim thing and the test pilot, and they had the Hal Jordan jacket show up in the first like 2 seasons of Arrow. It's like, okay, I could see maybe like you want to establish a Hal Jordan first because he's the Green Lantern most people are familiar with. But John Diggle, has been set up so hard for like half a decade, and then you get this moment where you feel like you're going to get it, and then he actively turns it down, and he was never going to become the Green Lantern. Why even do it? Why even set it up if you're going? And I get it. Like they genuinely thought it was gonna happen. And then corporate came in and said no. And so in the end, the green thing wasn't even a ring. It was like a weird space cube that turns into a different space cube and disappears. Like, it's not even a ring anymore. Because that's how hardline they went against him being the Green Lantern. But it pissed me off so much. Because essentially, since we learned his family name was Stewart, everyone was like, I cannot wait for him to be the Green Lantern.
The thing is, everyone hates Hal Jordan. Everyone fucking loves Jon Stewart as the Green Lantern.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who doesn't like Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
He's perfect. He's great.
I don't give a shit about DC, and even I know Hal Jordan sucks.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That shit pissed me off so much that I just stopped watching all DC shows. That's why I haven't watched all these late seasons. Because I was seeing this build-up across several different shows, and then it literally just fizzled out to nothing, and I was like, oh, okay. Guess I'm done.
And it's just so what? They can cast some random guy as Hal Jordan to play him in the next Justice League movie.
That's the thing. I have no idea why they actually did it, because again, they're resetting the DCEU, so yeah. I don't know what they're doing.
It's not like they could only have one Green Lantern, because the Green Lanterns are a fucking core. Like there's no
the Green Lantern
tons
core.
of them. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
They're a fucking police force.
They're also not even connected unit. Well, okay. For the most, 99.9% of the time, they're not connected universes. The only time they've had a connection was during the Infinite Crisis crossover, where, unfortunately, the worst person showed up, and the DCEU Flash showed up for a cameo. Yeah, thanks, Ezra.
That was before the bat.
It was all during.
That was before the what?
That was before they went off the deep end.
They've been going off the deep end for a while.
Yeah, they've been iffy for a while.
They have not been mentally sound or healthy.
I don't keep up with this shit.
Ezra Miller should have been getting a lot of mental health help a long time ago, and has gone unchecked, and now it's backfiring horrifically.
The thing is, that entire special was basically just crossover the special, where they had a bunch of people come in from long DC show histories. They had 56 Robin show up. They had Tom Welling show up as Smallville Superman.
That's cool.
They had Brandon Ruth show up as his Superman, canonically from the movie.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's. That was the only reference they had to the DCEU ever. Also, by the way, they had.
Wasn't it a thing that they had to include it in after the fact? Well, because they originally didn't get the thing, but then things changed or something?
I think so, but the visuals changed too, so it became 14:9. You had the black bars at the top and bottom, and he showed up, and then it didn't. The camera changed after.
Yeah,
it was so weird. Also, Kevin Conroy's I think only appearance as a live action Batman. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Also, he did his only appearance as a live action Batman. He was evil and had killed a bunch of heroes, and then got knocked into an electric thing and died.
Oh man.
So you know,
that's a lot. That's a lot to happen
but, you
in a
know,
few months.
it was still pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. Like, the CW did so much more for the DC universe than the fucking movies ever did.
Yeah.
And they just decided not to give him Green Lantern because fuck him. As far as I can tell.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
One of the things I hate the most about the DCU right now is the Titans series.
God.
Oh God. Okay.
But the sad thing is, like, I hear it's not as bad as it used to be. Well, no, sorry. I heard season 2 wasn't as bad as season 1.
And it's still pretty
after
bad.
that,
Season 2 is still horrible.
I've heard bad things, but like, the thing is, I don't hate the actors they chose.
The actors feel pretty spot on. It feels like there's some really good casting choices.
Yeah, Jason Todd I didn't like, I will say.
I forgot he was in there. Yeah.
Jason
I
Todd.
really love how they just bully Jason Todd constantly.
Yeah, good.
And they're like, "Why are you being such an asshole, Jason?" He's like, "You guys suck."
Look, I don't like Jason Todd. I think the Deathstroke was probably the weakest Deathstroke I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But I think, honestly, CW Deathstroke still my favorite.
Fair.
But the show itself was just bad. I felt like the costuming was really weak.
It was lazy.
I feel like
it was very lazy.
I feel like their Beast Boy doesn't get to Beast as often.
That's too expensive.
Yeah, Beast Boy spends way too long as boy and not Beast. Their Raven was unfortunately like
lackluster. She just didn't have an impact. She didn't carry weight.
Yeah, I feel like she could have been fine if they did her right the first time. I felt like she spent way too long in season 1 as just mopey and whiny.
Like, I want a Raven that feels like a Nova and like a Doomed with Nova burns.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what she's supposed to be.
And here I just got Girl.
Yeah, goth girlfriend, which not at all like the worth of Raven.
Yeah,
the Starfire was questionable from the very beginning. Like, I understand there is an in-universe reason that she is dressed as a prostitute and that she is masquerading as a prostitute,
and it's felt.
But it doesn't feel like Starfire in any way, comic or otherwise. Like, I've never. This is a complete.
Why didn't they just have her masquerading as a model, or take it to the modern day? Have her masquerade as a fucking influencer or something.
Yeah, like it was such a weird choice, and her costume never looks.
It
right.
just doesn't feel right. It's just not.
Like, Raven gets away with it because Raven's costume is basically
it's a
black and cloak.
Yeah.
Nightwing is really just like black leather boy. Like,
well, when you can fucking see it.
Yeah, it's so dark. There's barely any blue in there, which honestly, it looks a lot like the Nightwatch Nightwing outfit from Gotham Knights, which is just black with a tiny bit of blue.
They had one really good accurate costume. Superboy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
it was just a jeans and a black t-shirt with the S on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't fuck that up.
Well,
and then they did.
Look, they could fuck it up way worse. So you know what? Credit where credit is due.
It was
he
just,
looks
and
like
also
Super.
Just the characters that they chose to be on the Teen Titans team. It was a weird choice.
Yeah.
Like the base team of like, okay, it's gonna be Nightwing, or it was originally Robin. They had him as Robin. And then
they had him as Dick Grayson, who had quit being Robin, so he was actually nothing.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Todd already existed, and he wasn't being Robin either, right?
I think he was still dressed as Robin at first.
So
to establish in season 1, Dick Grayson was Dick Grayson.
Yeah,
and that was it.
He wasn't even like Nightwing or anything.
No, he was.
The flashback, they had Slade Wilson had killed one of them. I can't remember who. Like He had killed one of them. And he's like, if the Titans ever form again, I'm going to come back and kill all of you. So they disbanded, and then they had to find a way back to each other.
Was it Aqualad he killed? I think
yeah, I think it was Aqualad, which is like
cool.
R.I.P.
Aqualad.
Donna Troy was.
Him?
Yeah, it's like he was trying to kill Donna Troy, but Aqualad jumped in the way.
Was that black Aqualad or white Aqualad?
I think white Aqualad.
What do you think? Also, Donna Troy gets fucking fridged in like season 2.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Donna Troy.
No characters really give any attention. They're just like, oh shit, she's dead. Well, we can find a way to move on.
Well, I mean, she wasn't even in season 1. Like, she showed up in season 2 after, like, the weird finale episode 1.
Yeah.
because they didn't do a finale in season 1. It was like a lead up or like a fucking cliffhanger. And then it got resolved in like the first third of episode 1 of season 2. So
also, wasn't Scarecrow like a big part of season 2?
I don't remember.
Like, I'm pretty sure like Scarecrow, like Dick Grayson kidnapped Scarecrow and was holding him in a cabin in like the icy woods and was like there's a lot happening in that show. And none of it's good.
Yeah. For reference, Dick Grayson in season 1 is basically just a cop.
Yeah, and then Hawk, I believe, dies because Hawk and Dove are on the Teen Titans, which, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Cam, but I don't remember them ever really being Titans.
No, I don't think aren't they like not usually even teen characters? I'm fairly certain.
I don't think they were teen characters in this either. I'm pretty sure they were the full-grown adults.
They were all adults, damn near. None of them were teens because they just called it Titans. They were Teen Titans.
Yeah,
but I'm fairly certain, but I'm just thinking like all other versions of Titans are the Teen Titans, so that's why I was trying to think that.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure in the Titan show, like, Hawk and Dove are like, you know, mid-20s, early 30s, like, canonically. Like, they are adults in the room.
And the thing is, like, they're never really Titans. They're just kind of like, they're usually just their own thing. They're their own duo. They don't really need other. They complement each other just fine. Like, they're joined. They're perfect joined.
Yeah, they're like a cloak and dagger type of thing.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily.
They don't need to be on a team. Like, sure, they can collab every so often, but they don't, like, their setup is that they are together, away from other people.
Yeah. Honestly, most of their early dynamic in season 2 is that Hawk is a drug addict and Dove is trying to help him.
Yeah.
Which, thanks, DC. Like,
that's
why is it the DC at like live action stuff is constantly jumping into these characters at their worst?
Yeah, why can't we never get, like, because it's like, oh yeah, they're like doing so rough. It's like, well, I don't know what the other side looks like, so this is all I know about them is that they're shit, and I don't care.
Yeah, like we get introduced to Batman in the DCEU as I quit.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Thanks.
I'm not Batman anymore. When were you Batman?
Hey, remember that time in the comics that literally he just exerted his will over a Green Lantern ring? He was so willful. But no, our first introduction to him in this universe is, I can't.
Like, imagine our first introduction to Wanda Maximoff was like that middle part of WandaVision where she's really fucking people up.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's a weird choice.
And it's just like, this is who she is. It's like, okay, well, that's going to haunt me forever. And now I'm just going to see her as a constant villain. What the fuck?
Also, the fact that...
she was introduced as a villain.
I mean, everyone in the MCU was introduced as a villain, more or less. I mean, Tony Stark was introduced as a piece of shit.
I mean, the thing is, Wanda was introduced as a villain, but it was a villain who was being misled. And the second she learned this, that she was being manipulated, she turned on him, and her and Pietro were heroes by the end of that movie.
Well,
it's like,
fair.
And
he was a hero. He was a hero by the end of that movie.
Hero for as the
he was the hero for the end of that movie and nothing else.
Excuse me.
He was a hero for about like 10 minutes.
Look. He was fucking. His name lives on in Clint's son. All right, so fuck you. He's
Clint's son.
Well, yeah, one of Clint's sons is like his middle name is Pietro.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, because he sacrificed his life. Like I said, died a hero. He's a hero. But like, also, I know this is not relevant to most people. But the fact that Batman in Titans is played by Jorah Mormont from Game of Thrones, what a weird choice for casting.
What?
Yeah, he played Jorah Mormont in Game of Thrones. That's what he's most well known for.
What does Jorah Mormont do?
He's Captain Simp.
Like,
Okay.
I mean, that's uh,
The thing is, he looks 60.
like, I mean,
Why does Dick Grayson look like he's in his early 20s, and Batman looks like he's like a step in the grave?
like that's a choice. Like, I can understand if he's like in the full cowl and like just the mouth is like, because that feels kind of Batman like, but it's like
He looked awful
he's
as
a
Batman.
he's a
by the way.
very old casting guy for. I
He
mean,
doesn't-
realistic billionaire look, but like also
Yeah. But like, I mean, if you're gonna go with that, like the black hair, I feel like is important for
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne.
Wait,
And
they
he
leave him
does not
blonde?
have that. Yeah, he's like blonde and like thin hair.
Wait, what?
It's a weird cast.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess it's better than the Bruce Wayne they picked for Gotham Knights, who is dead. Again, I don't. What a weird fucking choice for a show, by the Like, you're gonna
Is
have.
the show like out right now? Or
Wait,
I
there's
don't-
a Gotham
I don't-
Knights show too?
I don't. Yeah, there's a Gotham
it's
Knights show.
unrelated to the game. Trust me,
What?
very unrelated to the game.
Yeah, no, they've
I
got.
have not heard of this.
Yeah, they've got this
it
the
makes
son
me-
of.
I look-
Okay, they've got a character. All right, they've got a character who is the son of Bruce Wayne. Which son do you think it is?
A character's the son. There's only. I mean, I'm guessing Damian Wayne, right?
No.
Well, now hold on. Now there are several options here because technically in comic history he's also adopted Dick Grayson and Tim Drake. at
Oh, so
different
like
points.
of his. Okay. So it's one of the sons of. Repeat the question.
The son of Bruce Wayne is the protagonist. So the main character you're going to be following throughout this show. Who do you think it is?
It would make sense to say like Tim Drake, since he's the youngest. He has like a bright, shiny outlook on things. He's really smart, really cool. People like him. Much more relatable.
You know what? As a comics fan, that would be a great guess. But remember, this is a DC show made by corporate people.
Jason Todd.
Okay, well, you know what? That would also be a valid option.
Well, he's a hero.
It's not him.
And I'm guessing it's not Damian Wayne,
It's not Damian Wayne.
No, it's not.
and it's not Dick Grayson.
It is not
It's
Dick
not
Grayson.
Dick
Who
Grayson.
the fuck else is left? Who else that is important is left?
It's okay. You ready? You ready
Hold
for
on,
this?
wait, there's not. Okay, yeah. Who is it?
I don't fucking
Hey,
know.
okay.
Who?
The let's see it. No, I keep finding the video game. I'm trying to find the cast here. Of
Okay.
honestly I don't remember his name. As far as I know, it's Light Turner.
Turner Hayes.
That's it, Turner Hayes.
Who the fuck is that?
He is OC.
Yeah, Turner Hayes.
He's an OC.
Yeah, he's an OC. None of the established characters in Bat history who are the son of Batman in any conceivable way. Just random guy. Not even Robin, by the way, because the Robin in this is Stephanie Brown, I believe.
No, it's Carrie Kelly.
Carrie Kelly,
Oh,
who
shit.
is
Okay,
Wait,
so
wait.
Carrie
They
Kelly,
also have
but they're
Bluebird in
also-
here.
Yeah, they're also bringing Harper Row,
yeah.
Duela Dent.
Yeah.
Oh, Stephanie Brown
Brown.
is going to be in
As-
here.
Okay.
Some guy called
Oh.
Brody March, son of Lincoln March. He don't even got a fucking link.
Oh,
He's no
Misha
one.
Collins gonna be playing Harvey Dent. That's actually a pretty good casting. I kind of like that. That's pretty good. I can see
Wait.
that.
Um,
that seems
Wait,
like a
he's
pretty-
Harvey
Oh.
Dent?
He's Harvey Dent.
Hold on. Hold the
Okay.
fucking phone. Because in the trailers, he definitely seems like he's acting as a detective. I just assumed that was Gordon.
Apparently not.
Okay.
Okay, apparently Owlman is gonna be in here. That's who Lincoln March is.
Ugh.
Wait, what?
Why? Okay. This is ridiculous. Come on. They're not even fucking
Yeah.
trying.
So anyway, Turner Hayes, famous son of Batman. He is the main character. Also, not a Robin.
I thought you were joking
Like-
when you said Light Turner, but yeah, he's
No,
not Robin. Why the fuck
No,
is he here?
No, the Robin is Carrie. Like, as in Dark Knight Returns Robin.
I mean, I do like Carrie Kelly,
I mean,
but this ain't
rarely
it.
see like the
This
Lady
ain't it.
Robins, but I mean,
Yeah, except based on the trailer.
Technically, the canonical Lady Robin was Stephanie Brown, but that didn't go great for Stephanie.
no.
Just for
it
context,
didn't.
The comics were really mean to her.
In the trailer, she says he called me his Robin, as if that's a nickname and not the actual hero name. I have no fucking clue what this show is doing, but it further reinforces my viewpoint that the DC corporate side of things has no fucking clue what to do with the property.
No care.
It's crazy to me. Insanity.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Gotham Knights, the TV series, and under marketing it says, the first trailer was released on March 31st, 2022, to mostly negative response.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh, God. This is just...
I think probably the worst thing about that show is that I love the Gotham Knights game, and the fact that trailer keeps cropping up means it fills my search stuff whenever I look up the game. So that's great.
I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't... You know what I also don't like about the DCEU right now? I don't particularly like the anime division of the DCEU either. Not for the animation. The animation, the actual craft of it is fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's fucking amazing. It's the stories that they keep doing. Like, the animated DC Universe stories, they always choose the darkest shit.
I know that because they rebooted the animated stuff again. I think I was looking this stuff up because Camper was playing Gotham Knights, which made me want to look up Batman Under the Red Hood.
That was a good one.
Very good.
Yeah, it was a good one, yeah.
Very good.
Which led me to looking at the other my brain died. The other DC animated movies, and apparently they have a new cinematic universe things called the Tomorrowverse, because the first one in it was Superman, Man of Tomorrow. Looking at here, apparently the movies they have here is Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Justice Society, World War II, Batman, The Long Halloween, and Green Lantern, Beware My Power, which apparently has Jon Stewart as the main character.
Yeah,
it's not great.
I don't know. Are the Tomorrowverse ones not good? Are they still dark and shit?
I mean, I heard about the Justice Society one, which is basically like the Flash going back in time and interacting with those people. I haven't seen much about it. I've seen more about the Green Lantern one.
Personally, I did not like Beware My Power. It just... It didn't do it for me. It just felt... I feel like they didn't give Jon Stewart his laurels that he deserved. It didn't feel right.
Because he was the new guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, they treat him as the new guy the entire movie.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, and Green Arrow's like, my friend Hal Jordan. It's like, you don't even like that dude. Shut the fuck up.
He likes him sometimes.
He likes him sometimes when he's not trying to knock his fucking head off.
Yeah. Just like real friends.
But yeah, like, a lot of them are just like, there are some that were really good. Like, the Flashpoint Paradox was phenomenal because it was just like, wow, I've never even heard of that story before actually seeing it. Even the Assault on Arkham, all the Suicide Squad stuff that they do is pretty solid, pretty good. And they started doing Teen Titans stuff, which just was not as good.
Because from what I've heard is that they basically just kind of shit on the Teen Titans the whole time.
It's like, the Teen Titans are never fun. it's never fun to watch the Teen Titans in the DC universe right now, like in the modern day.
Well, I mean, the problem with the animated line for the Teen Titans was they essentially used Damian Wayne as like the central figure. Which, by the way, like this is the Damian Wayne that in this movie universe had been through like 3 Batman animated movies by this point. And so, like, you almost started to like him a little bit because he was being redeemed. And then the second he gets in the Teen Titans movie, he's a prick again.
Fucking asshole.
It's like, oh, okay. He only earns back his, like, being a decent person at basically in the last movie before everything gets reset.
Did they did Injustice?
Makes that with Raven.
Yeah.
There was an Injustice movie, yeah.
God, yeah. There was. I didn't like it.
There goes Damien.
Yeah, Damien was in that. He kills Dick Grayson.
As per usual, yeah.
Even worse.
Even worse, on not the page.
Well, because in the Injustice comic, and which is like canon with the game, he essentially pushes Dick over, and he breaks his neck on like a rock or something. Like,
yeah, like he killed him accidentally.
It was an accident. It wasn't my fault.
Complete freak accident. Like, and you know.
It was, if I remember
show,
correctly, it was. Oh, I remember because it's a thing that fucking. So because it's a tie back to an earlier thing or whatever. Because it was shown multiple times in the past that like whenever he would throw like his little like extremist stick thing at Dick. When Dick's back was turned, when Dick was like when he was like angry at Dick or whatever, Dick would always just like instinctively catch it and be like, haha, and it'd be like, come on, Damien, you gotta be better than that kind of thing. But then in this time, because they're at Arkham and they're fucking arguing because Damien is agreeing with Superman's bullshit, but Dick's like, it's kind of fucked up. And Damien gets angry, and then while Dick's back is turned, he throws the screaming stick at Dick, and I guess it's kind of implied that he just expects Dick to catch it, but this time Dick doesn't catch it, and it hits him on the head, and he falls over, and his neck breaks on a rock, and he dies.
Which, yeah, is a lot more intentional, because it's like, rather than you push him and he stumbles into, like, a thing that shouldn't have been there, you actively, like, did more. Like, it's just
well, that wasn't that was how it was in the comics. That wasn't the movie.
It's just not a good look.
I don't know what the fucking thing in the movie was.
Well, no, in the animated movie, he hits him with the Eskimo stick in the head, and that's it. That's how he dies.
Yeah.
He doesn't break his head on the rock or anything?
No, the impact kills him. So Damien is directly responsible for murdering him.
Yeah.
So instead of it just being, I hit him in the head, and it basically, like, knocked him out, and then he fell over and broke his head. It's just, he just instantly died.
Busted his fucking skull.
He hits him in the head, and Dick falls to the ground. There's no rock. He hits the ground, and then he's like, oh, but he always dodges it. It's like, so he just hit him in the temple, and it's murder? Like, that's it. There's no accident. He throws the weapon, it hits the dude, and he dies.
Yeah.
Like,
not a good look for Damien. It's real bad. But yeah, like, the DC shows.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's hard to give Damien a good look, honestly.
Yeah, but the DC animated shows they start off really solid because, like, oh shit, no one's doing shit like this before. And then it started getting a little too crazy. And it's just like, okay, why is, like, the fucking, Justice League Dark Apocalypse War was just, that was when I was just like, this is just, it's just depressing to watch. Because all I'm doing is, like, watching all of these beloved characters get gruesomely slaughtered, like, full in the camera, torn apart, heads ripped off, tongues ripped out, eyes gouged out. And it's just like, I don't want to see Batgirl torn limb from limb. I don't want to see Tim Drake's neck snapped and then they eat his skull. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, it's just really depressing. It's really fucking sad. And it's just like, yeah, but look, they're fighting so hard. It's like, I don't care. It's like, I don't give a fuck about Superman fighting back. I want Tim Drake to live. I like Tim Drake.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I was not a fan of that movie.
It's me playing Midnight Suns, and everyone's like, Iron Man's sad. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I want to go talk to Nico. But yeah, it's just they're just
Strange feels bad about his house getting kidnapped. It's like, fuck him.
Fuck him. I want to hang out with Robbie Reyes in the car. I want to pet my Charlie girl.
I couldn't give less of a shit about the Avengers. Who is my girl? It is my Charlie girl.
Literally, that game is great, but it's just like, oh yeah, look, the Avengers, and everyone's like, they're kind of dicks, and you're like, yeah, they kind of are. Fuck them. And it's like, Hunter, we need your help. We're the Avengers. Like, yeah, I'll be right there. I'm hanging out with Blade right now. We're reading a book by the fire.
I'm watching a movie with magic.
Sorry, I'm doing a mushroom hunt right now with Nico Minoru. I'll be right there, I promise.
So I'm just
Apparently, apparently it's Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Yeah, that's the one.
What the fuck is Justice League Dark?
well in
But like, with the Justice League, but like
in the comics and everything, Justice League Dark is basically like the
It's like
mostly
the mystical.
mostly magic, and it's usually like the anti-hero personalities. Like John Constantine's in charge, and then it's usually like someone like
I think
Raven, Zatanna.
Swamp Thing's in there too as well.
Yeah, because
Zatanna's
he's
on there.
technically mystical too. He's connected to the green, which is the essence of Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Justice League Dark consists of, in the movie, in the animated movie, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, John Stewart, Green Lantern, John Constantine, Zatanna, Deadman, Jason Blood, aka is it Etrigan or Etrigan? How do you say it?
Etrigan.
Etrigan, Swamp Thing, and Black Orchid.
Tony Todd plays Darkseid in fucking Apocalypse War.
That's a good
I'm
casting.
a
That's a good voice
major
casting.
fan of the demon Etrigan. I love him. Little rhyming shit.
Tony Todd's a good voice cast for Darkseid. Actually, that's really good. But yeah, it's just it's too dark.
Yeah.
The animated shows are too grim and dark. The live action shows are too dark and not lit up. The movies barely exist.
Yeah, the animated shows are too dark in content. The live action shows are too dark in context. Although, I will say, in terms of the animated shows, animated movies rather, I love Hal Jordan trying to punch Darkseid, getting beat to the ground, and then
That's
getting ganked.
iconic scene.
What a fucking parody.
Gets fucking stomped out.
I love that.
So
it's
good.
probably my favorite Hal Jordan scene in anything.
Nothing brings me more joy than seeing Hal Jordan in misfortune.
Also, Batman just stealing Hal's ring.
Yeah.
Just clowning on Hal Jordan that entire movie. Actually.
Yeah, I love to see it. You love to see it. It's great. Because the thing is, the Justice League would never behave this way with Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
They respect him too much. They like him.
Yeah.
But yeah. DC is... Maybe the reboot will make it better. I want to stay optimistic. I'll stay hopeful.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? I'm a huge DC fan. It benefits me so much to have good DC movies. But the thing is, James Gunn is meant to be one of the people in charge of the next one.
Okay.
Like the next universe. He's meant to. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like they've got Kevin Feige on Marvel's side. James Gunn, he's fine sometimes.
Kevin Feige, say what you will about the guy, but the man is pretty much a mastermind when it came to crafting. Because he's a fan of it.
Yeah,
so he understands
macro
intimately what people would want to see.
Kevin Feige is a macro level genius. Like when it comes to overseeing a large project, I think he's fantastic.
And I think in the modern day, where he's like starting to divvy up the power as well, because he's knowing like the universe is going too big for just him to manage, and he's like kind of giving like different corners of it to different directors and different teams and stuff. It's a lot of very smart choices to make sure that's prolonged, and that's why whenever a bad Marvel movie comes out and everyone's like, "Oh, is this the end of the MCU?" It's like, no, of course not, because Kevin Feige is going to have another team work on a different project to distract people from it. It's like Multiverse of Madness was, at the end of the day, it was a flop. But what came out right next? Black Panther, and that was a huge fucking success.
Zack Snyder had a lot of control over the DCEU, and I think we're okay. I think we're okay with not having him in charge anymore.
Yeah. But now James Gunn being the next Kevin for DC.
I'm not.
I mean,
It's.
I don't know.
Okay, well, something will happen.
The problem is, like, I kind of like what James Gunn has done with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, the
Fantastic.
Guardians movies are great. I haven't watched the fucking trailer for Guardians 3 yet. I should do that at some point.
I like
I've
what he
heard-
did with Scooby Doo.
I
Not
don't.
many people do, but I understand that.
James Gunn has some movies from back in the day that I absolutely adore. Scooby Doo, Slither. I love Slither. What's the other one? 13 Ghosts. Fantastic.
He did 13 Ghosts?
He did 13 Ghosts.
Damn.
He's up there in directors for a reason. Like, he's got like some really good shit back in the 2000s. However, he even Dawn of Dead, which we recently watched, the remake, he did that one.
Okay.
Which, while there were some questionable choices,
With Zack Snyder.
was an overall enjoyable movie.
Like,
Yeah, in the modern day,
I think he's a decent director.
Mhm.
The problem is, I don't know that that's a directly transferable skill to the kind of thing that Feige does.
Because,
Yeah.
like, Kevin Feige is mostly a producer. He's not a director.
yeah.
So those are two very different jobs.
I think, like, Kevin Feige is one of those people that's like, most of the time, you don't give a shit who the producer is. Kevin Feige, I think, is one of the only people that I see his name pop up and is like, oh,
Oh
shit.
shit, Kevin Feige.
I guess we're in for a good time.
Seal of
Like-
approval, baby.
Like, James Gunn, it doesn't carry that with me. And I'm so wary that, like...
What movies has James Gunn produced, I guess?
I mean, it's difficult, right? Because technically, like, you can get a producer credit with very little input.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I thought he directed that one.
He did both.
Oh.
Let's see. Producer. We got. Oh, there's 3 movies on his IMDb. Nope, there's. Oh, okay. Let's see.
Filmography. He produced
3 movies.
The Belko Experiment,
Ugh.
Brightburn,
That's okay.
It's.
and apparently he's the producer for a movie that's not come out yet, called Coyote versus Acme.
Coyote versus Acme?
Yeah,
Is that a Looney Tunes
Yeah.
cartoon?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Coyote vs. Acme is an upcoming American live-action / computer animated legal comedy film starring the Looney Tunes character Wile E. Coyote, produced by Warner Animation Group and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. This film is being directed by I don't give a shit.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So
James Gunn's
apparently
very hit or
it's
miss kind
going
of
to be a legal thing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard several different things there that I have to question. So it's a legal comedy about, I assume, Wile E. Coyote suing the Acme Corporation.
Yeah.
Or the creators of Wile
Presumably
E.
because
Coyote
he
trying
keeps
to...
blowing up.
Okay.
I don't know if that is that a movie.
You know, maybe the DCU is doomed, camper.
I could see that as a single episode of a show. I can't see that as a main.
It could be a
like,
fucking special.
but that's the thing, is like I don't see him as like this,
He's not a powerhouse.
because here's the
Like,
thing, Star Wars has
And also, looking at his filmography, it looks like while he was the director on a handful of films, he's mostly a writer.
like Star Wars has Dave Filoni as kind of like their big name guy, and I feel
Yeah.
like the MCU and Star Wars both have this really nailed, where Kevin Feige is a Marvel fan. It comes through, and he's very much like a macro scale guy. Dave Filoni started out as just like the guy behind certain animated projects, but he ended up ascending because he knew his shit. He knew Star Wars. He kept producing great content. Like, there are so few things you can point to what Dave Filoni has done and been like, that wasn't very good.
Yeah.
But James Gunn is definitely not on that tier.
Even his good
Yeah.
movies are. I will correct that. Even his movies that I like are even like easily able to say like, there's a reason why this is not good. Like Slither, I love Slither. It's a fantastic, spooky, supernatural, horror-esque film. But it is also really weird and is definitely more culty, classic-y in that kind of. It's not a cult classic, but it's more in that air than an actual like mainstay horror film, and that's why I personally like it. But it makes sense why no one else fucking does. Yeah, he's got a, how do I put it? He's got a type of vibe he puts into shit.
Yeah, I feel like it's, especially lately, has been. I know he's very comedy leaning,
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Lord
okay,
knows the
it's
DCU needs
fine.
it.
Yeah, it's fine, and especially because if you can do comedy, you can do most things. Like I think, I think Peele is a good example.
Yeah,
of this.
Jordan Peele is the biggest
Yeah.
example of that.
But like, I worry because, like, Suicide Squad, it was drastically changed
Yeah,
because it used to be not funny at all,
yeah.
and then they made it super comedic.
But
And
it
either
wasn't.
way, I don't think it was very good either way.
It was not.
Like
You weren't a fan of the Suicide Squad?
no, I was not.
I'm just gonna hurt you real bad.
I hated that.
No,
Jerry.
no, sorry. I don't mean Suicide Squad. I mean the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's a mess.
That one was fine, I guess.
The
And even
Suicide
then,
Squad, which one was that?
the second one.
The
was
Oh,
the
yeah.
one.
That
Yeah,
one,
the one with
that one I
Star-
was like, oh, this looks pretty cool. It's a cool cast of people. And then I forgot that the Suicide Squad is, the Suicide Squad, and usually a lot of people die immediately. And I was like, oh no, Boomerang. Spoilers.
Yeah, that's the thing. The person who died right off the bat in the original was I say the original, the first movie. I hated that they called it Suicide Squad and the Suicide Squad. The
Yeah.
first one was Slipknot. No one gives a shit about
No,
Slipknot.
it made sense why he would die. He's a piece of shit. He
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, the Captain
But no
Boomerang is
one
a pretty-
dies. No one dies in the first one other than him, really.
Yeah, Captain Boomerang is a pretty big like DC villain.
He
He's like
is the Suicide Squad guy.
yeah, he's part of the Flash's Rogues Gallery. Like he's a major component of that.
Boomerang is like constantly on that shit.
He killed
Like,
Drake's dad.
yeah.
Like he's a
This guy's
big
crazy.
villain.
He's a big deal.
So you again, I just feel like it's a lot of shock stuff. Not a big fan. I thought it was hilarious that they couldn't get Will Smith back for Deadshot, so they threw another
Deadshot
highly
is-
accurate
yeah.
gun themed.
Because it's
like-
DC, there's a million of them.
Yeah, and the fact that spiraled out into Peacemaker,
Yeah.
I thought that show was great. I thought it was hilarious, but it's not what I want out of DC overall.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they are funny shows and funny movies. I think it's good to have some levity, and I think it's important in any comic thing to not take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of very serious stories in DC that I would like to see as well. It just, you can have the levity, but I worry that if everything kind of has this more jovial tone, that if you have like a Blackest Night or you have a Flashpoint, it has to be done right.
It's offset.
Yeah.
It's just it feels weird at that point.
Yeah.
No, I get you.
So also the fact that the first Flash movie was going to be Flashpoint, I don't know. Yeah, it's the first Flash.
Flashpoint.
Yeah, the first Flash movie is going to be Flashpoint, which is essentially like a reboot of everything anyway, which I guess is going to be really accurate. But you can't have his first.
Here's our first Peter Parker, our first Spider-Man story. One more day.
Yeah, our first.
So actually, no. So I have an idea. We're gonna reboot the Spider-Man series, Madhouse, and the first story that we're adapting for a brand new Spider-Man universe is Kraven's Last Hunt.
Oh yeah, that seems like a great idea.
Yeah, our first Spider-Man movie, Miles Morales.
Here comes our first X-Men movie in the MCU.
Well,
we will be doing the Decimation.
I mean, Camper, you say that, but Spider-Verse did pretty good.
Yeah, they managed to do it right.
Yeah, but the thing with Spider-Verse is it establishes that, like, Peter Parker was a thing already.
Yeah.
And, everyone knows Peter Parker's story.
Yeah.
But can you imagine if we're supposed to have this long-term Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man shows up in Civil War as Peter Parker, the kid who had no established future, and then the first Spider-Man movie is him dying?
Yeah. It's like fucking April.
Like, oh, okay.
Fuck
cool.
him, I guess. Alright, anyways, moving on.
Yeah.
Here is our
They would have done that if you didn't do too good.
Here is our first Scarlet Witch story, House of M, which I mean they kind of did do, but
Kinda, but
yeah. Also, the first Black Widow content post death. You don't get anything from her except Avengers movies. She shows up as side character in Iron Man. Shows up as like a secondary protagonist in Captain America. It's like, okay, cool. Her first named content is after she's canonically dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thanks.
I love it.
Cool. Thanks, MCU.
But yeah, it's both a good and a bad time to be a superhero fan right now, or a comics fan.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's probably the best time in history.
Oh yeah.
Like, previously, we had individual Batman and Superman movies. We had individual Spider-Man movies.
The X-Men trilogies.
Yeah, we had X-Men. God forbid the concept of having a Doctor Strange movie. Like, that was
so I think the craziest thing, like, the thing that really solidified that this is an era of comic shit, we're like, it's like, this is mainstream now, is when, was it Phase 2 or Phase 3, when they announced, like, okay, here are the movies lined up, we have Black Panther's like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, Doctor Strange is like, okay, that's a little weird, on Netflix, we're gonna put Iron Fist out, it's like, okay, Jessica Jones, like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, like, I remember specifically what, I think for me, the two ones that came out during, like, I think it was, like, Phase 2 when they came. Was it Phase 2 or Phase 3? I don't remember. I think it was Phase 3.
It had to be Phase 3 because Black Panther was post-Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I do feel like is, I believe that when it comes to Marvel and stuff, with the, all, like, the phases and things, I feel like, as far as it all goes, I feel like Phase 1 and Phase 2 was a lot of hit or miss.
Yeah.
Stuff, but I think, like, as you get in, I think Phase 3 and 4, they've been doing a lot better.
They were just whapping the competition.
But anyway, but like, you can't see it with stuff like the ones that always stood out to me was like Phase 3 stuff. Where like, and here's Doctor Strange and fucking Ant-Man, and a lot of people who are in the comics were just like, wait, who and who?
And comic book fans are losing their fucking minds. They're like, holy shit.
Yeah. I find it so funny because the thing of like they're not like A-list or I mean, but to be fair to a certain extent, like for a lot of stuff, when it came to Marvel, like this has been pointed out to death already, but like the Avengers weren't really a huge thing. Most like the main popular things that Marvel had was the X-Men and Spider-Man.
Because that's what it's about, baby.
Yeah. There's a reason why when they had to sell off the rights to a bunch of stuff, they were left with the Avengers.
Yeah. Because no one
they made it work.
Avengers. Yeah, they made something fucking marvelous out of
it. The only reason characters like Thor and Iron Man and Captain America and stuff are as prominent in a more popular cultural consensus and not just the people who are aware of like the comics and the cartoons and stuff is because of like the MCU.
Yeah.
Because it really launched them off as characters on a bigger tier.
Yeah. I can't wait to see the X-Men again. I hope they do it right.
Yeah. At least we're in the point where they're starting to... It does seem like they're doing the thing where mutants are... There's not gonna be, like, some major thing that suddenly mutants are popping up. It definitely seems like it's just mutants are already here.
They're already here, and which is so good. It's just... It works so well because one, it's really good in the storyline because like it's just always been here, and so it evokes that kind of thing of like, oh, this is something to be afraid of, this is something to worry about. But it also is just very good because it's so true to the storyline where mutants were often early on very closeted. They didn't really have the luxury of just being out and proud and being a superhero. They had to hide. They had no other choice, and I just think that's it's such a good choice. Now the mutants that they're choosing. I don't know I still don't know how I feel about Kamala Khan being a mutant. That's just kind of Yeah. I mean,
would you rather she be an Inhuman?
No. I fucking hate Inhumans.
Would you rather she just kind of be a person with powers and not worry about about it?
I mean, I'm fine with her being a mutant. I was just kind of like, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way at first, but I'm like, I'm getting used to the idea. Kamala Khan being a mutant to me is what me coming out to my parents were, and they had to get used to me being gay and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's fair, because, like, she's in the comics, so she's not a mutant.
She's a dirty, stinking fucking Inhuman.
Well, they don't really acknowledge it anymore, but...
Good. I fucking hate Inhumans. I hate them. I really hate them. Because, like, oh, look at us. Our ancestors were experimented on by the Kree, and now we have superpowers, and we use this Terrigen Mist, and we live on the fucking moon, and now we live in a secret invisible city on Earth, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, we're so oppressed. Shut the fuck up, pussies. Shut the actual fuck up. You will never be what the X-Men were. It's just not gonna happen.
So that show was fucking terrible.
And it was shit.
Yeah.
I am honestly shocked they brought back the actor for Black Bolt.
I know, that was interesting. I didn't expect that. I'm fine with the Inhumans existing in a universe. I just don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, fair. I'm trying to think. But yeah, like, the mutants that we have so far, Kamala Khan, I guess. But the first one... No, Madhouse.
Oh,
there was one before there. El Aguila. He's a mutant. They don't actually say he's a mutant, but they don't deny he's a mutant either.
So they don't say shit about it. He's just there with his fire sword. But yeah, he is a mutant from the comics.
Well, lightning. It's electric. It's bioelectricity. But yeah, I just find it funny that he's a mutant. He's He's not even an important one.
They've also like thrown little Easter eggs around where it's like, oh, man fighting with metal claws in bar, and like a She-Hulk episode where she's like going through the web.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh,
But
that's
yeah,
kind of
the
cool. It's just like showing like, oh, mutants are just
Um,
around doing their
um,
shit.
yeah. I mean, it is. I do find it from like a comics angle stuff. I do enjoy that the first mutant person that we really got, movie wise, because at the end of the day, as good as what the fuck was it? As much as I enjoy the Disney Plus shows, at the end of the day, the movies are really what people are going to care about
Yeah.
when it comes to the larger fan base and crowd and stuff.
Namor being the first mutant.
So Namor being the first mutant, I do appreciate that in the sense that, like, comics wise and stuff, Namor technically was the first mutant to show up in the comics. He was retconned into being a mutant, I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember when that retcon happened, but like Namor was like one of the first like superheroes to show up in like Marvel comics.
Yeah, but we won't talk
So-
anymore about him because Kemper has to wait for the movie to come out on streaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot that Camper doesn't know this shit.
I'm very excited about the mutants in the MCU. It seems very fun. Because everyone loves the X-Men
Yeah, the X-Men are great.
except for Beast. Fuck Beast.
Fuck Beast. Beast's a race traitor. Fuck him.
Fuck Beast. Fuck Firestar, even though she's not next. Well, she is now. Fucking bitch. And who's the other one? And fuck Creed. Fuck Sabretooth.
Oh yeah, no one gives a shit about. He's a villain always, so I don't know why you.
I
wouldn't.
want him in the ground.
I mean, he was in the ground for a bit, but then he got out.
Put him back. But yeah, so MCU prospers. DCU is here as well. And
We'll see. We'll see what the future holds for them.
and the Magic School Bus live action edgy Netflix reboot is coming soon. I can only pray.
Yeah, the streaming service is near you.
You think we could put together a short film, like a little parody short film about that, and then like some executive be like, "This is great," and then pick it up and greenlight us?
You mean like Bel Air?
Like Bel Air, yes, exactly like that.
God.
You think we could do that? You think we could pull that off?
No.
Oh. Well,
I don't think we have the resources for it.
it's nice to dream.
Yeah. Could I be Miss Frizz?
With the frizz? No way.
I mean, my hair's not really frizzy.
Moving through the subway. moving through the fun.
I don't have a lizard either.
You might get baked into a pie on the Magic School Bus. Come on the Magic School Bus.
Also, I don't know any teenagers.
Yeah.
The closest thing I know is Maya, but she's too young.
We'll go to a college and just pick them up. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you want to play Keisha in the Magic School
I
Bus? You
mean,
want to play
yeah,
Arnold in the Magic
I
School
mean,
Bus?
Yeah, in the I mean, if it's an edgy reboot of the Magic School Bus, they're gonna be like college. They're just change it to be
closer
like
to being like graduate / dropouts.
Yeah, it'd be very akin to the main cast of the Power Rangers reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which was also a bit edgier, but I think that one was good.
I think it was. I haven't actually seen it.
You haven't
But I
seen
don't
it? Of all
think-
the people who haven't seen it?
No, I've never had the opportunity.
I'm shocked. I'm surprised. I'm amazed.
I know. How about we end the stream and then we can watch it?
It's good.
Fine.
It's a nice watch.
Yeah.
It's no Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie from the '90s with Ivan Ooze, but it's fine.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh shit! I got to start on Ivan Ooze now.
Ooze is great. I love Ivan
It's
Ooze. He's
iconic.
amazing. He's one of the greatest Power Rangers villains to ever appear. I hope he
That
shows up in the
smell.
comic. I've actually haven't been reading the
Teenagers.
comics recently, but I hope he shows up at
He's
some
also-
point because that would be great.
One of the few Power Rangers villains that gets kicked in the nuts.
Yeah.
He's also one of the few Power Rangers villains to dress up as a wizard and sell children ooze. No, like your parents.
Your parents don't like it? Throw it in their faces. Ivan
so
Ooze
good.
it's so good because it looks almost like Freddy Krueger, but at the same time something else entirely. It's just so much is going on in just it's amazing. It's an amazing look. It's an amazing character. It's an amazing movie. It's perfect. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, when we go back to Halcyon Academies for the junior year campaign, we're actually gonna make it gritty and edgy.
It's not already.
Well, I mean, Death Note was already edgy. Now we got to make it edgy in a bad way.
You guys know
No.
the person who played Ivan Ooze was also the gun-toting Reverend in Hot Fuzz.
That's amazing. I love that.
Who was Ivan? It
Hot
was
Fuzz
Paul
is-
Freeman.
Yeah,
Wow.
fantastic.
Yeah, that a truly an Oscar-worthy performance. He should have won something for that. He played the fuck out of that role.
For Ivan Ooze in the Power Rangers
Ivan
movie?
fucking Ooze in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. Yes,
I don't know.
I don't think
it was a fantastic
That
casting.
one.
It's fantastic acting. Loved it.
the real award is the one you won in my heart for being amazing.
But yeah, should Ivan Ooze be the end of our Crash Cast?
The Ivan
I
Ooze
feel
should
like
be the
that's
end of
only
everything.
appropriate.
Ivan
I feel like
Ooze versus
Ivan.
John Brown. Who's winning?
That's a rough one.
I know it's a hard one.
Well, the
Ugh.
problem is Ivan Ooze can take over the minds of adults, and John Brown is the most adult man there ever was.
But do you think John Brown's gonna have like the caveat of his mind is so powerful that Ivan Ooze gets like backlash out of it?
I mean, that's true. That might happen.
He
I
was
feel like-
anti-racist in the 1800s. I mean,
I feel
Yeah, you
like
gotta have a powerful mind to be that.
I feel like well, I guess that's true. Do you think no. Okay, I know what would happen.
okay.
Oh yeah.
John Brown couldn't take on Ivan Ooze because Ivan Ooze would transform into a giant monster or he'd do mind control. But John Brown would be the Zordon to a full generation
Oh,
of
and he gets
Power
his
Rangers.
teenagers with attitude.
Yeah.
But instead, it's like instead of like getting like the Zords that empower them, they're empowered with like this mystical armor from like different abolitionists throughout history.
Yeah, the abolitionist Rangers.
Guys, I'd like to introduce you a part by the Apocalypse game called Teenagers with Attitude
You
that
guys
I've
will
been
be
wanting
imbued
to
with
run
the
for
abolitionists.
so long. What do you
It's
mean,
like-
you guys? If we're playing, Madhouse, if we're playing Teenagers with Attitude, I'm fucking running it.
I can't wait for someone to pull out their little fucking morpher and they're like, red abolitionist Harriet Tubman.
Wait, then who's the black abolitionist?
Oh. Oh, it's gotta be a white guy then, right?
The white guy's the black abolitionist.
Yeah.
Camper, you can be the
John
black
Brown's not-
abolition.
Oh, it's John. It's a
Camper, you can
legacy. Who are some famous abolitionists?
No, the black
Frederick Douglass.
the black abolitionist would be the leader, but he is only the leader so long as he has unanimous consent from the rest of the team.
Oh yeah. He has to. He's very aware.
Yeah.
Someone's got to be Sojourner Truth. We got to have Harriet Tubman up there. Frederick Douglass, obviously. John
Yeah.
Brown, he's our Zordon. We know that.
I
Who
find
else?
it funny that we're doing it like this. When, if I remember correctly, Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman actually didn't really like John Brown. They thought he was too radical.
Yeah, they
Good.
thought he was a crazy person, which he was.
Yeah. They thought,
Mate.
like, you're just gonna have a bunch of slaves revolt and then get killed.
And
I know
he's-
I know who the black abolitionist would be.
Who?
Who is it?
Malcolm X sent back in time.
Oh, it's abolitionists from different points in history because John Brown's been resurrected because the president of Ivan Ooze in the modern day, and so he has to find teenagers that added in the present day, but heroes of the past.
Oh,
Because
I
only
hate
the
picture.
fighting spirit of Gen Z and the moral compass of the older ages can unite to stop Ivan Ooze. Well,
And wanna know what Ivan Ooze will send out against everyone?
Klansmen.
Generic white men from Hollywood. That's it, folks. We've
Oh,
come full
shit!
circle. End stream.
Ivan Ooze is like, you're not expecting my other guest, Kanye West.
Chris Pratt.
No! That's not a generic white
Chris Pratt fused with Goldar.
Oh no!
no!
Kanye West as
I
Rita
feel-
Repulsa and Chris Pratt as Goldar.
Wait, then who's Lord Zed?
Trump.
John,
Please,
P.
It's Jordan Peterson.
Who'd be their finster?
What's
Like-
that? What's that one?
wait.
What's the alpha male guy?
Shapiro.
Shapiro invites itself. Netflix, where's our fucking contract?
Can we end the stream now?
Yeah, we can end this stream now. This
Thanks
was-
for coming,
we're gonna
everyone.
make so much fucking money.
Bye.
Bye.
sorry.
Bye, guys. Oh my god.